everybody, good morning. Quick tidy up. Oh, 11:02. Oh, well done me. Who said they might be late? Me too. And my antlers, well, I don't know, they've gone a bit, it's that one, isn't it? Needs a bit of, well, anyway, they're there. They're a bit, whoa. I think probably over the next year, which is the one, I see, I can't work out opposites. It's that one. That's where they need to be. I need to do a bit of stiffening up on the jobs, I think, over the next year. But they're there. They're antlers. They're cool. Right. Come along. Come along, peeps. Debbie Carter. Ah, the old traditions. Deb, first one. Just let me get rid of a block. Oh, well, no, hang on to my blocks. You never know. I might decide. Probably not with that one. No, I'll put those away. I'll put those away. We're doing tulips. Try and focus. Try and focus, Hilary. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Margaret. Hi, Anne-Marie. Hi, Linda. Happy Christmas. Yes, they're a bit, oh dear, they were stiffer in their time. And I feel, everything's opposite, isn't it? They're a bit, that one. But yeah, I mean, they're there, aren't they? They've got the Christmas feeling to them. Happy Christmas, everybody. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Anne. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Gina. Hi, Sue. Lovely to see you all. Merry Christmas. Yes. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Hi, Maria. It's lovely to see some names I haven't seen for a while. Really nice. Maria, you've got the distinction of bring you on video. I won't do that to you, but it is there. Hi. Hi, Susan. Hi, Deborah. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Hi, Bertha. Happy Christmas over to Denmark. So Gina must be pretty late over there. Sorry, I thought that when I started an hour later, which was all down to, I have to say, at 10 o'clock, I wasn't even awake. Me having a line on Christmas Day, and then I thought I was a bit cruel to Australia, but never mind. You'll all be well in your cups by now over there. Hi, Jilly. Hi, Jennifer. Dot is looking for me. Anywhere in particular? Hi, Lisbeth. Hopefully 9:30. Oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That could be worse. Happy Christmas. Hi, Monica. I'm sure she'll find me. Just, I don't know. Very wise. Actually, that's what happens. Of course, you've just had Christmas Day, haven't you? So you'll be, had a long day. Probably too hot because we all overheat it, and of course you're warm over there anyway. Lots of food, booze, and you just fall asleep. That's what happens, isn't it, really? Hi, Yvonne. I hope Dot will arrive. Where was she looking for? Oh, thanks, Gina. Thank you. Where was she looking for me? Strange sort of comment, really. Happy Christmas, Pauline. There's all the Christmas trees. Right, I'm just moving these. These are tulip stamps, just in case they're needed. Just in case. Obviously, I've got a drawer full of spare stencils here in case we need those as well. I wonder what I did with, they're still on the table. That's fine. That's fine. Hi, Gail. Merry Christmas. No, the antlers are still as droopy as ever, I'm afraid. Ah, right. Okay. Send her over here. Send her over here. She's obviously just getting overexcited because it's Christmas and her birthday coming up. And who would? I didn't think she was coming today, actually. Ah, thank you, Anne. Yeah, no, it's really nice of people just to drop in and say Happy Christmas before you head off on whatever you're up to. Happy Christmas. Hi, Margaret. Lovely to see you all. Actually, I've just remembered the antlers. Hang on, folks. Yes. Now, I think, you see, I have got this perky pear. And that's a bit of a Freudian slip. Can I do something? Because these are quite stiff. Could I do something with these that might? As it's difficult because it's all back to front. So do the hand you don't think it is. Could I tuck these behind there? Oh, Magna, that's a bit better, isn't it? And then the same on this side. Tuck that behind there. Oh, I say, look at that, a full set. Hi, Deb. Hang on, who have I missed up there while I was messing with my antlers? Oh, loads. Hi, Silvana. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lorna. Lovely to see you. Happy Christmas. Oh, are you in Norway? Yes, it will be a bit chilly. It will definitely be a bit chilly. Oh, hang on. Now one's gone. Hang on. Oh, it's a worry, your antlers, isn't it? It's a big job. You know, you think, I think I might just... Right, let's try it. Wrapping. I can't actually work out what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get an antler there, an antler there. You see, oh no, it was better before I started there. That just needs to go behind. You don't know how confusing this is because it's all back to front, which should be pretty simple because it should just be a case of do the opposite. Now I think I'll put that in front again. What I want in front is this boy. The head. No, another fail. Head, forward, antler back. That's it. That's it. I'm leaving them alone now. That's as good as we're getting. I don't think I'm going to do any better than that. Oh, hang on. Those people are coming in. Hang on. Oh, these antlers. Right, I'm leaving my antlers now. Christmas collage headgear. Absolutely. Hi, Silvana. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Amanda. Dot, you're here. Excellent. That's good. Just make it a bit more complicated. It's surprisingly, because I've turned the camera so that things are the right way around for you, because we're so used to this being a mirror, it's really hard to work anything out. It's very, very difficult to actually get a grip of yourself in a camera that isn't behaving like a mirror. I'm going to stop trying to explain it there because I'm already feeling my head fry and it's Christmas Day. I don't feel any obligation to fry my head for anybody today, and that's that. Hi Fee. Got it right. Hi Fee, but hi fi was much funnier. That's a bit like hi D hi. Hi Fee. Hi Christine. You are in the right place, right year, and everything. Absolutely everything. Hi Louise. Hi Jane. It's lovely to see everybody. I actually think it's quite a nice, for me this feels like a nice tradition on Christmas morning. Now, hi Maggie, to get together with people I've spent the year with, people I haven't spent the year with, people that I talk to on my page. I just think it's a bit of what Christmas is about really, isn't it? Hi Sue, lovely to see you. I'm just going to get my tea bag out of my tea now. There we are, that should have brewed. I've got it in the classic Christmassy mood. Don't fuck with the badger mug, just in case any of you were thinking of fucking with the badger. Don't. Dangerous. Hi Synth. I think a few of these are people popping in and out, but that's fine. We can pop in and out. Hello boys back from their Christmas walk. That's nice too. Now I'm going to get rid of that because that's a jug of water. I can see that getting a bit naughty with me. Can see that getting a bit disastrous. Hello Till, hello big boy, you want to come and say hello everybody, happy Christmas. Happy Christmas from Dylan. I've had 2 toys already and we're hoping for a new toy after breakfast. That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that the big one's coming after breakfast. Hello Milo, yeah, did Dill just get something I didn't? No, that's the boys. Oh, you're welcome. Honestly, for me, it helps me on Christmas Day now. It's one of those bizarre things. It wasn't started for that reason at all, but now I find it's part of my Christmas, so I really enjoy it. All under control in the kitchen and about to jump in the shower. Oh, Cynthia, for heaven's sake. I mean, good God. For those that don't know, Cynthia is a very, very organised, beautifully organised, a joy to see her organisation, but we don't need that sort of stuff this morning. I am absolutely not in control. There's nothing sorted out and I haven't had a shower. So there we are. That's where I am at. Hi Smita, hi Sandra. Just waiting for anybody else that didn't know where I was to find me and get over here, and then we'll get playing. And I'll tell you what we'll do while we're doing that. Let's just have a look, because I've got some stencils here that I'm going to do tulips. I'm going to stencil some tulip fabric, which is something I both need and love doing. And a nice chance, these are mostly handmade stencils. So anybody could do this actually, pretty little expense. And it's thinking about spring, isn't it? Because we're past the longest day of the year now, shortest day of the year. Oh God, if you can get it 180 degrees wrong, I'm going to. Hi Darlene, hi Sandra. I will, no, lost it. Yes, so as far as I'm concerned, we're on our way to spring. So I thought doing tulips was a really nice theme anyway, and one that I'm right in the middle of for an exhibition. So it actually hits a double purpose for me because it gets me some materials that I need. Now I think I've got them all out of here. That's my tulip stencils. There's still pots in there if we need them. Jane, you don't mean that at all. It's just come up. Jane Robinson wants to join me on the video, and I'm absolutely certain you don't, Jane. I think you just hit a dodgy button there. I mean, I'll do it to you if you like, but I'm guessing that was a mess. Hi, Maria. Hi, Yvonne. Happy Christmas, everybody. Happy Christmas, everybody. It reminds me a bit, and this is not to cause any offence to those of you that, you know, are a-religious, unreligious, different religions, but it reminds me a bit of going to church on Christmas morning when I was a child, and we would all go, and we knew lots of the other families at church, and it was kind of a big saying hello to lots of people at the beginning of Christmas Day, and then you would come home obviously and have your lunch and things. And this reminds me a bit of that, you know, you're getting together with people that you know, maybe haven't seen for a while, it's a different sort of tribe, isn't it? Spend a bit of time with your tribe is always good for you. Hi Lynn, it's lovely to see some new names as well. Always like to see new people, discovering the joys of being happy with creativity, because oh my goodness, it's a lifesaver at the moment. I mean, the world's just gone completely and utterly mad. You can't really describe it any other way than that, just completely and utterly mad. In a lot of countries, definitely in ours, completely bonkers in the UK. So to actually be able to spend some time doing something creative that, look, it doesn't cost a lot of money, which seems important as well at the moment, it's just, it is life-saving. It's life-saving for me, and also it keeps me, it's a bit like, you know, in the garden. I love gardening because the garden's always full of hope and looking forward, you know, however awful it might be at the time, you know, if it's freezing or your plants died, there's always hope in the garden. There's always hope that something new is going to come. There's always something new you can plant, whether it's, you know, a single bulb or a cutting from a friend, and you can plant that and you can watch it grow, and you have to wait, and it might take 5 years for it to become beautiful and the thing you're waiting for. But it kind of, to me, it just says that time always does keep passing and keeps moving on, and things are different in the future. There's always that hope of beauty in the future, and that's a really powerful message when things are as shit as they are now, is to think, yes, things will be great in the future, and they will, and they will. If you think, what year are we? 2022. So 2 years ago, we were having the COVID Christmas stream at the end of nearly a year of COVID. And 3 years ago, COVID hadn't even started. Now that's only 3 years. Think of what's happened in that time. How much change. Could be that much different again in another 3 years. And with a bit of luck, and if the media would just basically shut up, it could be that much better in 3 years. We could go in the opposite direction if they could. I read a great little article this morning that said 25 bits of good news that nobody bothered reporting this year. That's what you need. Bit of good news. Oh no, Jane. Oh, good. Come along and cheer yourself up. It's a bugger when people are ill at Christmas, and there's a lot of flu around. There is a fair bit of flu around. I mean, it's flu season, isn't it? But yes, come and cheer yourself up. So we're going to think about tulips, because tulips are nice plants. I've put my bulbs in. I've actually put mine in pots. Some I might plant into the garden, but it was so wet here in the autumn, I thought they're just going to rot to pieces. Hi, Karen. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. And I'm guessing hey, and it's not hey, I bet it's hej. Yeah. I'm going to have to learn Danish, because I've got 4 of you coming over to Festival of Quilts, so I'm going to have to get a few lines of Danish into my vocabulary so that I can greet you all properly. Delighted that really pleased that you're coming, and Gina from Australia as well. So that's exciting. So that's people from all over the world going to meet each other for the first time, having been together online in some cases since 2019. Yeah, fabulous. Hi, Christine. So let's have a look at what we're going to be doing. Okay, I'll keep saying hi. I'll keep getting interrupted, but that's fine. So I'm thinking tulips. It's a big theme for me at the moment. I've got sketchbooks full of them. I'm doing an exhibition of them. I've got some pieces I've started making, but I need a lot. I know, so exciting, but I need a lot. Put that back. I'm putting it away. I don't want to yet. I need a lot more materials. So I'm going to use stencils, and I've got some just plain cheap white cotton. I think you would get in this country, you'll get something similar to this probably from Empress Mills, Doughty's, Whaley's. You want a relatively low count. That's what I like using. So it's not the kind of cotton I would want for my bed sheets, where I would, you know, love 200 count Egyptian. Festival time. Oh, which days? Oh, which days? Sorry, just shut up, Hilary. Don't butt in other people's conversations. Just let them speak to each other. I'll be expecting you to come, Debbie. I know it's a long way, but, you know, it is festival, and it'd be lovely. In fact, it'd be great if we could find a day when we're all there and have a massive get-together. Take over Wetherspoons. Take over spoons. So, yes, so this is low count. Rather than high count. If you think of the expensive cottons, they're higher counts, more threat. Yeah, exactly. More, she will, because I'm going to get her on stand. She doesn't know that yet. She's about to get an induction by fire. I reckon Dee and I, every time we see her pass by, hey, can't hear you. So, and the reason I like that is because you'll see when I start printing, the paint, brilliant. Brilliant, Debbie. The paint and dye, but paint specifically, will come through. It'd be great, wouldn't it, Maggie? Yeah, it would be really lovely, because it's not very often that we're going to get the people from abroad coming over. And it's a good sort of place. It's a good place. In fact, never mind spoons. There's the gin bar. What am I talking about? Spoons. There's the gin bar at festival. That's where we all need to be. Hi, Julie. So I think that would be a very good. That would be a very good plan. We need to get that organised. Somebody organised. I'll hand that one over to somebody organised to sort out. Cynthia can sort that one out. She's good at being organised. When she's finished organising Christmas dinner, wouldn't it be nice, Karen? Because they're names that you'll see online a lot, but probably not going to meet very often in your life. It would be lovely just to get together and say hello as a tribe and say, hello, we're the tribe. And then you know, hi, Elizabeth. Yes, happy Christmas. Oh dear, do you not think big enough? Oh dear, gin bar too small. Okay, fair enough, that's no good then. We'll have to find somewhere else, but it's a big place. I'm sure if we can find a day we're all coming, I can find somewhere for us all to meet up. Gina is in Australia. I'll leave her to let you know where, Susan, because although I should know, I think it's South Australia, but I could be totally wrong, despite the fact that I have sent a Christmas card over there in the last month. I still don't know. Hi, Sabina. Merry Christmas. Oh, Sabina, lovely. It must be flipping early in the morning over there, but lovely, lovely to see you. Adelaide, Sabina is in Canada. We're just talking about a festival, Sabina. I don't suppose there's any chance of getting you over from Canada for Festival of Quilts, is there? Because we've got Gina's going to come from Australia. There's 4 coming from Denmark. Kathy is going to try and come from the US. I know that as well. Are you snowed in? Oh no, you're not. I know that storm that's hit America has headed over to Canada as well, hasn't it? Are you okay, Sabina? I hope you're all right. I've heard about dreadful temperatures. I mean, we'd all just die over here because we're just not tough enough. Linda, hello. Lovely to see you. Hi, Tammy. Happy Christmas. It would be fab if you did. I know you do come over sometimes, Sabina. It would be lovely, lovely if you did. It would be great. See how many countries we could get packed in. Hi, Angela. Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas. Right, getting back to my fabric. Oh, Synth. Oh, well, do you know, it's one of these things. It's a business. I'm glad you're okay, but the storms are awful. Well, stay in, stay safe, stay warm, Sabina. There's been awful storms over there. It's all business at Festival, Cynthia. But I could actually have a talk. I could have a chat with Helen and say there might be quite a few of us. I mean, Weatherstones is big and it's only busy. Weatherstones is packed at lunchtime, packed first thing for breakfast. But if you go there at about 3 in the afternoon, it's fine. There's loads of space. That's probably the place to go. Happy Christmas, Linda. Happy Christmas. It's a paying exhibitor. Gosh, that makes me sound quite grown up. Love it. I sound like a grown-up person. So have you got the temperatures? Because I know in the US, it's down to -40. I can't even imagine how cold that is. I can't get my head around it. I mean, when we lived up in Weardale, we had -18. I remember that. And you would go outside and it was hard to breathe. It was so cold and your eyelashes would freeze. And I remember trying to feed the birds, the food would freeze. You'd put out water, it would freeze almost instantly. So double that. I just can't conceive of that level of coldness. I don't think Robbie's here. I sort of a bit wondered about her because I think she's in that kind of area of America. Frightening stuff. Right, fabric. I'm going to come back to the jolly subject of fabric. Spoons, exactly. I think, to be honest, when we all get there and start, they'll all move. Yeah, I mean, beautiful country. Absolutely beautiful country. And I think a nice country as well. All the Canadians I know are lovely. I say no masses. I know half a dozen and they're all really, really nice. But yeah, I can't conceive of that. It's like the heat in some countries. I can't, until you've experienced it, you just can't imagine that, can you? You just can't imagine it. So that's my cotton. Low count, because it's going to allow the paint to come through to the other side, which means I get a bit of a double-sided cloth. And it's cheap. And because I'm going to put paint on it, there's no point me having a really fine, soft cotton. This is the one that we sell. We've stopped selling it, Pauline. I can get some more if you want to. We've been taking things out the shop that we just don't really sell very much of. And at the moment, you know, shop sales are very, very, very slow. So we've been, because of course for us, we can't buy a few meters. It's quite a big output when we buy a bolt of this stuff for us, because we're a tiny little shop. But if you're ever stuck and can't find it, of course I can get some more. Of course I can. So yes, but this is basically, if you've bought from me, this is basically the stuff I sell. It's the Optic White. I can't remember what the count is, but it's low. So I'm going to just tear this into nice bite-sized pieces. And try and get rid of the threads because they drive me mad. I could be printing on paper as well. No reason why not. I print a lot on paper. I've just printed a whole set off with one of the Make It Personal groups. Yours, in fact, Pauline. I've just printed. Let me show you because I'm going to use these to stitch as well. So this, I'm just going to tip you down a little tiny bit. There we are. Oh, you can't see my antlers, but probably not. Hang on, let's lift you up. Let's lift you up as well. If I come around here, I can do a better job. Can't reach the tripod really from there. If I do that, there, you can see quite a lot now. I can still see your comments. I feel that, oh, hang on, the table's on a terrible angle. We can't have, not the camera. That's better, isn't it? And every now and then I can just, you know, we don't need to worry about the antlers now, do we? Oh. So these are all paper. These are all done on layout paper, and this is a collection of materials done in paints and dyes. These were done with stencils and stamps, and these are going to be made into stitched pieces of poppies. These are more for my poppy projects. These ones are to do some monotone poppy collages, they're part of our cropping module on MIPS, but they're also going to be part of my exhibition. But you can see these are exactly the same techniques used for these, and this stuff is beautiful to stitch layout paper. It's an absolute joy. So I often work on paper as well, but I'm going to work on fabric today because I know a lot of people, that's what they prefer to do. They're absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? I love them. I just love them. I've done some green ones. I've been doing some green and lime ones to go with these, but they're just, the thing about paper is it does print really, really beautifully. You know, you get really strong printing on paper. You get very crisp, clean prints. But we can get, I've got some beautiful fabrics that I've made from, I love this colour. This is the slightly greyed out. This is red currant with a bit of grey added in. Just think that's such a beautiful colour. Really, really love it. And when you get it against, just going off on a slight tangent here, but let me find one of my limey greens. Well, I say one, why not three? Got some darker ones. Got some darker ones as well, but when you get that against these sorts of colours, which are the complements, they're really going to sing, aren't they? They're just going to really, really, really sing. So thoroughly looking forward to playing with those, and those are all on layout paper. And layout paper actually is my preferred substrate to stitch. It's beautiful to stitch. It's very soft, it's very easy, it's very tough, very stable, it doesn't warp, and they're just so easy to use, and of course it's cheaper than fabric as well. You know, those are A2 sheets of layout paper. I can't remember how much they are, maybe 20p a sheet, something like that. Certainly less than I would be paying for fabric. But let's do fabric, because I'm going to do an exhibition. I want it to be a mix of media, just to really illustrate as much as anything else that you can have a mix of media. I've done that again. I need to use this cutting board while it's here, because I want it to show you how quick and easy it is just to cut a stencil if you want to. Oh no! I can show you mending a stencil. I've already mended that one once. That's where the masking tape is. So that one has just fallen off on that corner. So I'll just get a bit of masking tape and wallop that on there. Hi Liz, happy Christmas! Yeah, a big bun fight at festival. Very excited about having a stand there this year. Last time I was there was with a stand was 2019. So right, that's that fixed. All you have to do is just, if you trash your stencil like I do, just put a bit of masking tape front and back and stick it back together again. So if you were wanting, I've got here, this is mylar, and this is 120 grams weight, which is a really nice weight for cutting your own stencils. Commercial stencils that we make are on 190 gram mylar, which is stronger but pretty tough going to cut for yourself. But you can make stencils out of file pockets, you know, plastic file pockets, plastic acetate, anything that you've got really, anything that you've got that's, you can make it out of, you can make them out of paper, they just won't last very long. Manila card, people used to make a lot of them out of that. The other ones I'm not so keen on are the metal ones. They're not really designed for fabric. I think they're more for cake decor and things. But this is the strongest substrate I have, and I'm going to use a knife to cut. And I was wanting, you see, I've got this little stencil here and a reverse of it, and I like to cut them in reverses. They've both got an R on for the right side, which is the side that they print from the best, which is the side I cut them from, so I'll mark them as I'm cutting. Oh, more people. Hi Frankie, hi Laws, happy Christmas, happy Christmas. So this is a really simple design. You can't see it, can you? I'm holding it like that, you can see it now. Hang on, let me get a piece of black card's usually good for this. I was thinking you could see them. Now you can. So these are edged in duct tape because I've only got tiny little bits of mylar left, not enough around the edge to protect it when I start printing with my roller. Hi Penny, hi Sally Ann, happy excuse me. So I put some tape around the edge, which just extends the size of the stencil. You'll see that when I start using them, because I'm going to apply all my paint with a roller, which is really, really quick and easy way. But if I was applying it over just this and there was literally barely a millimetre more of acetate in there, I would be going off the edges of the stencil all the time. So having this here means I can wallop it down like that and it's nice and easy. But I'd like some bigger ones of a similar design to that, because it's just fun. I like left and right facing ones, but I also like them different sizes. So I can do this straight onto my mylar. I'm just going to get my tulip to give me a bit of a reference point for what I'm drawing. And let's think what size. Well, I'm just going to draw. I think I'd like it about that size. Now I'm drawing straight to the acetate. You could do this by, you could trace first. So you could have a practice at drawing, or you could find a copyright-free image, but I'm just going to go like that. You know, that's going to be absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that one, then I'm going to draw through it to get the reverse. I'm going to be sensible and leave enough space around it that I don't need to edge it in duct tape. So I've just got a very plain cutting knife here. These are the ones I really like because their blades are so easy to replace. I'll show you this one because that's an old one, which I don't know if you can get that brand anymore, but these are Stanley. And they're not expensive at all. And when you need a new blade, you just take off the handle. It's got a little groove in it. Put the blade in that little groove and snap, and the blade comes off. I was going to say, and is held in the handle, and it is normally. There it is. And then I've just got a little sharps jar. Get rid of those. And you've got a new blade, and it's got a whole handle full of them, and you can buy replacement blades. So it's a really, really, they're my favourite knives. They're not as flexible as something like an X-Acto knife. You know, you haven't got that very long, thin blade. But to me, that's outweighed by the fact that I can change that blade so regularly. Okay, so we've got a bigger tulip here. Let's just cut it out. And you can do this with a hot stencil cutter, which I do use a lot. But at its most basic, you can make perfectly good stencils. I've missed the line, doesn't really matter. With just a knife and a piece of plastic, out comes that. Going to make that a little bit bigger in the middle because I can see this gap in the middle being a bit of an issue if I'm not careful. In fact, I'm going to cut away from it before I chop it in. Before I chop it into pieces, and I've made that bigger too, but that's okay. I've made a fatter tulip. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that's a nice tulip. Just make sure you cut into the edges, and then I'm just going to mark. Honestly, you couldn't make up. I thought I'd cut straight round that. That side's maybe a bit close, so I could show you putting tape on there, couldn't I? Just so you can see how that works. I'll get some duct tape and we'll do that. But let's just get, so that's the right side of that. I would like it in reverse. So let's just turn it over and do it again. Hi Morag, happy Christmas. Hi Judith, happy Christmas. Hi Anne, happy Christmas. We've got your bad auntie here. She's here, not causing bother. She's been very well behaved. Well, she appears to be anyway. There we are. So now that's the reverse. So that's that one. Just makes it a bit more interesting. Right, we'll try again on this too. I mean, there's no point separating off that bit, is there? So let's have it across there. I don't know how I did that other one, but then most of life to me is made with things I'm not quite sure how I did. Hi Mal, happy Christmas. So let's cut that one out. If you've got duct tape and time, you can save quite a lot of mylar by making the stencils with very little edges, very small edges, and adding duct tape around. And it's a really useful thing on a lot of commercial stencils you'll buy. They really haven't left you very much around the edge. We try to leave a sort of decent edge on our stencils. You see one like that where it's gone quite close to the edge, I get given as a duffer. We try to leave a reasonable amount, but of course it's all economies, so a lot of commercial stencils don't. That's an enormous amount around the edge, and I've kind of exaggerated a bit there. That, I'm going to show you putting tape on that because it's interesting. It is interesting. Right, so I've just got some tape here and down this edge where I've made it a little bit tighter. I know, exactly that. When Dot goes quiet, start worrying. Exactly. She'll be plotting and planning for a birthday along with everybody else. Oh. So let's put that on. And then just trim that in line with your stencil. And that just gives me the extra edge on here so that I can whack it away happily. I'm wondering whether to make a very quick, even bigger, or shall I just get on with it? No, we'll just get on with it. Hey, we'll just get on with it. If I need another one, oh, go on, I'll just do, because I mean, there's just this bit of mylar. Let's have, I'm really liking this very simple tulip shape. And I mean, we came up with this very simple tulip shape in the tulip streams, I think. Oh, that's it. She's out on the town. She's out and about is our Dot today. So let's cut. Oh, I've done it again. The edge, not very good. Yeah, we use this in the Inspired by Tulips, and I really like this design. And I've come up with it. I've got some good further designs from it, but I would like some more materials with it. So I'll make the time. I haven't even put that straight on the mylar. I hope it's comforting to you that it's quite possible to be a nice, successful artist with a fair degree of incompetence in lots of things, actually. Don't bother writing to tell me about that. I don't need you to write and tell me how useless I am. I probably know. Right, so we'll just put one up this side just to extend this. See what I mean? It's really handy when you've done that. That's the right side. And I'll just do one of this size for now, just so I've got a bigger. Turn that over. Masking tape and duct tape or cloth tape are just such useful things to have. Hi Deborah, happy Christmas. What are you changing into, Dot? You got your Santa costume on, reindeers, what's it going to be? So, we'll pop that, I don't know where we'll pop that, we'll pop that down there. So, we've got stencils, stencils, I've got, let's put that black sheet back again so you can see what I've got. So now I've got that and the little ones. So that's going to be fun to play with just for starters, isn't it? Yes, happy Christmas. Hi, happy Christmas. Oh, fabulous. Lovely, Chris. Well, I think that's what we were just saying. My mother-in-law is going over today to her nephew's. She's coming to us for New Year, but she goes there for Christmas because there's grandchildren and things, you know, and they're just joyous at Christmas, aren't they? Hi, Linda. Hi, Viv. Oh, it's lovely to see you. It's lovely to see people. You know, some of you I haven't seen for years. It's great. It's really nice. So we've got those three incredibly simple stencils. I've cut this one. A really simple stencil. It's just a set of boxes, which this little tulip fits into, which I just thought would be fun to play with. I can't really cut a negative of the tulip as a stencil. I'm not very good at working out how to do that, but I can do little box. Is that bust again? Oh, for Pete's sake. Sorry, Pete, whoever you are, but somebody's at this stencil. I've really smashed it to bits. Oh, well, never mind. We'll mend it again. We'll mend it yet again. Fabulous, Dot. You'll look gorgeous. Now, if I was going, I would probably wear black leggings and a black t-shirt just as a surprise. Or I might wear a long sleeve. I might wear something long sleeve in this weather. That's possible. Hi, Annie. if you're there and I'm not saying hello to you, it's because you're not coming up on my screen. I don't know what my feed is. I don't know how reliable it is, but it sort of pops up and tells me people are there. Whoops, now I've sliced a bit more of that. So if I'm not saying hello to you, it's because my screen hasn't told me you're there. Hi, Julie. Just every now and then it pops. She's the lady in red. Oh my God. That's a thought to conjure with, isn't it? Our dot. Right, so that gives me some boxes that I can put around my tulips, which I just like that idea. I saw many, many years ago, and it was on the rugby club gates in Lincoln. And on the grid on the gate, so on the gates there was like a metal squared off grid, and somebody had stuck 3 tulips in the grid, and it stuck in my mind as a really attractive arrangement. And that's what I'm thinking of there, tulips in grids. So we've got those, and then I've got basically pretty much the same tulip with some very simple leaves added, and I've got a left and right version of that, so one facing each way. I've got this a simplified, even more simplified tulip head, just done over and over again as an all over pattern. I've got these ones, I've got another one of those somewhere, which is a long tulip. That'll turn up, no doubt. Somewhere we've got the other long tulip. Where's my, there it is, look. So again, right, we've got one going one way and one going the other. And I think they're slightly different heights as well, just to make it a bit interesting. Then I've got this one, which is one I designed sort of inspired by things like William de Morgan tiles and William Morris designs, which is just a sort of stylized tulip pattern. And I wish I'd got that a different size, but as you can see, that's quite a long cut, and I haven't yet got around to doing that. So we'll just go with what I actually have got around to doing. And then I've got these beauties, which are tulips. These are drawings of tulips that are really blown out and open. And I think they just look, they look so amazing when they're like that. These 2 patterns are part of the crops that I've been showing on Facebook. You can see the big floppy petals. So that's one version of them really blown open. And then this one is a smaller version of it blown open, and there should be 2 of that. Yes, there is. So I've got that one going 2 different ways again. So that's my blown open ones, and then this one is a sort of partially blown open one. You know, when the petals open and start to blow apart. So I've got a nice collection there to go with those. I've also picked up, on the grid basis, a couple of grids. 3 apparently. Why do I end up? You see, because I've been given another Duff stencil that we haven't cut the edge for properly. So I've got a spare of that. But I've got a couple of grids, and I've also got this radiating image that I really like. I've got that again. And I've got a swirly one that I like. That's actually the only commercial stencil I'm using. That is one from the Stencil House. Oh, it's got a Stencil Workshop, Stencil House. It'll come back to me. Really good. They're a really good maker. Nice, strong stencils. And I love that swirly pattern. And some spots of varying sizes, which I also like using. Right, that'll do. That should keep me. Well, I wouldn't mind some smaller spots, which could be, where could they be? Have I been using them? I mean, I have actually, but not here. Oh, hang on, this will be more of the diamonds. Hang on, because this is where I've been printing. There we are. I love this pattern. Seem to have 2 of that. And another grid, look. There, grids and starbursts, because I think they'll just be nice backgrounds with my tulips. Stencil Studio, thank you, Linda. That's it. They make excellent stencils, really good stencils. They're very strong. They last. They're good. This is the pile I wanted. Look, another couple of grids, a trellis. We don't need the ammonite. Not right now. Okay, that's plenty. That should keep me. That should get me some. That should get me a few materials. Stencil Studio. That's the one. Hi, Deirdre. Happy Christmas. Thank you, Debbie S Studio. You see, your brains are all in gear. Mine definitely not. And I feel no reason why I just don't see why it should be. It's Christmas. Right, here we go. So, put that on the floor. I'm going to use, the paint I'm using is my own paint that I mix, but we make it from Set a Colour Opaque, which is a really, really good, to my mind, the best fabric paint, certainly the most opaque fabric paint, and that means it will stand up to over dyeing if I want to add more pattern to it and more colour. And I haven't decided yet whether I will or not. It depends how my materials look, so we'll see. So I'm just putting some lids on rollers. We'll grab a roller tray for our first colour. And one thing I would like, I mean, obviously it's tulips, orange, red, purple, yellow, aren't they? That's their sort of strongest colours, pink. But I fancy some blue. Classic me, because I do love blue as a colour, and I haven't got much blue fabric either. And I just fancy doing a little series of work called Blue Tulips to go in this exhibition. So, oh, thank you, Annette, and happy Christmas to you. So, maybe I'll start with, trouble is, once I've done blue, I'll be all over it. So, let's maybe start, oh, come on, it's Christmas, let's start with red. Let's start with red. Now, and we might not be able to, because I'm not sure I've got any poppy red. Oh, I've got a little bit. Let's use poppy red pumpkin. So I'm using poppy red pumpkin. I might get out, oh, I've got a bigger pumpkin. You can tell how much I like pumpkin there. And I might mix in a bit of magenta in that, if I can find my magenta. Those are tulip colours, aren't they? And I've got a really nice deep coral somewhere, which I'm not seeing, but I know I own. That's blood orange, which I might use, but I think I would prefer deep coral for me. I would. There we are. Deep coral. I think that looks nice as well. So I'm going to go with those. And I will get out to go with those. Plenty of white, because I use a lot of white. So I'll almost certainly be lightening those with white. So I say let's start with the ones I've just made. Always like to start with the stencils I've just done. I don't know where to put the thing either, but I'll put the cloth here. That's a good start. Everything else can just chuck around. So let's put all those background pattern ones there, because we'll probably come to those later. You see, there's a couple of ammonites have tried very hard to get themselves in there. I don't know, they could make pretty stencils. They could make, let's see. Let's see, if I get bored. Hi, Kathy, Merry Christmas. Oh, it is you over there. Yes, are you in the very bad areas? Been worried about you all over in America. Wasn't sure if you'd get here, Kathy, because I know it must be very early in the morning over there. What area of America are you in? Are you in where this storm's hit? Just sending Stephen the pictures this morning. Absolutely appalling over there. No snow for us, but just very cold. Oh, you poor things. Oh, crikey, see, you're right down in that area. You are in the right area, because it is round there, isn't it, that you're getting these incredibly low temperatures. Are you able to stay warm? I don't know what I'm going to do if you say no. Panic? Bit of panic? Get your neighbours round? Yeah, that's, yeah, God, bloody hell, the weather. What are we doing to our world, our country, our... Ah! Right, I'm going to start with that one. Was that the big one? And then I've got them... Oh, I've got two of those, so I must have done an even bigger one. Oh, I have to, look. I have to. Well, let's start with this. This looks a nice size. Very much thinking of you. No, don't. Stay in. Stay in and stay warm if you can. The worry is it coming on top of all the pressure of money overheating, isn't it, as well, and the shortage of... Oh, bloody world. Right. Anybody see what I did with the tray that I got out? Did I put it away again? Probably. Right, tray out. Let's start with a nice bright pumpkin. Okay. Now I'm going to put in a bit of barrier cream. There's nothing dangerous about this paint. Well, don't eat it. Don't eat it, obviously, or drink it. Don't ingest it. But clean up and it won't be absorbed through my skin. Paint just sits on the top of your skin, so it's not dangerous like that either. But cleanup is much easier if you just baste yourself in a bit of barrier cream first. Then the paint will wash off more easily. So it depends how you want to spend the rest of Christmas Day. If you want to spend it smothered in paint, that's fine, and I frequently do. But if I remember, I try to make it a habit to put it on whenever I'm in the studio. Then if I do pick up something that I do want to protect my my hands from, I've got barrier cream on. Oh, I've just seen my tulip. Just show you this, just because it's nice. You know, I showed you those pink and limey green papers. These are the small designs that we did as part of the year 2. They're in their cropping module. These were the designs I did that, and you can see these are cropped from sketchbook pages. And I mean, the sketchbook area page where this came from was just one of this stencil in a little square with something else next to it, and it's given me this very simple pattern. But I love this. I mean, I love this colour, but I love this monotone, so that's where that idea came from. So a very simple image like this tulip can actually do some quite exciting things. Okay, come on, right, I'm just going to wallop these down. I'm going to wallop these down in Gay Abandon. That's my plan. Gay Abandon with the pumpkin tulip. So I am sorry, I'm forgetting there are people that might not know what I'm doing here. Right, a sponge roller. This is a decorator's roller. Oh, I've already spattered orange all over the place. It's very, very strong. You can see the ones I'm putting on are not new ones. These are ones that I've used and washed, and they wash almost indefinitely. The only thing that kills them usually is either a dog. If they get them, they can kill them, or if I forget to clean them and leave them till they get stiff. This one's got a bit of stiff paint on. I've obviously not cleaned that very quickly, but it's still reusable, so they're a really good investment. They will keep lasting. A crafter's sort of sponge roller really won't last me very long. So let's see how this looks. And even just like that, shall I stencil it your way up? Then you can see. That would be nice. That would be kind of me, wouldn't it? But I mean, that just looks lovely, doesn't it? It's so flipping simple. Oh, joy on the drop cloth now. Hang on. That's just making me think. I think there's loads of time when I'm working, you know. Where did I put those other pieces I tore? There. It comes through so nicely on this cotton because it's quite low cat. And you do get really nice underprinting. So let's get, I don't know if that's quite big enough. Can move it around, can't I? So let's have another piece underneath. And then we can pick up that. And this is why I like the thin cloth, because this is the back. So I'm getting on the back a subdued version of what I'm getting on the front. And that can be very useful when you're designing. You know, sometimes you don't want the vivacity of the front one, but you do want the back. Another thing I need another piece of cloth for is this gorgeous boyo. I want to blot that. If I can remember to, I would like to blot that each time. So I'm going to get a smaller piece of cloth for doing that. That's one of the things about cloth that drives me mad. All these threads. Right, okay, so let's just move that to one side, put that on this. This is my drop. So I've now got a drop cloth, a blotting cloth. This is probably dry by now. But to try and get the blots, because those can be really interesting too. Yeah, that was definitely worth doing, wasn't it? So now I've got a nice little negative there. So that's the one I'm going to blot on. This is the one I'm going to stencil with. Okay, so let's put a few in this way. And this is just so quick. So I was thinking, why has it got orange around the edge? And the reason is I've just turned it over, haven't I? Oh well, it's stenciling fine from both sides. I'll keep going. What a complete plank. Never mind, hey. I said you don't have to be competent to do things. I am living proof of that fact. So I'm just going to put a few of these around. And this cloth, I'm going to make a complete splatter flat in your face of thingies. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. Enjoy your Zoom. Enjoy your Zoom. Oh, bless. My mum won't even use a mobile phone. Has got no computer, no emails. So I kind of envy people that have got relatives that will embrace a bit of technology, because it would be lovely, really, for her to see her grandchildren and things on camera and be able to get emails and photos more easily. See, this can build up into some really interesting bits of cloth as well. You wait till we finish. Now, it doesn't look very hopeful at the moment, but it will. You'll see. And look at the back. Look at the back. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm just getting this broken down bit. And over here, this is looking lovely too, my drop cloth. Win, win, win. Win, win. I love it. I just love it. And how simple is that stencil? You know, we buy really complicated stencils. I might turn it over again now and get it the right way. And nothing wrong with that. They can be very exciting. But really, you don't need much to make beautiful cloth. You can, it's in the hand of the maker. It's just your imagination. So I'm going to get more paint, and then I'm going to change colour and orientation. Now, I've already changed orientation a bit by accident, haven't I? But that's okay. I don't mind that. This underneath cloth is going to be very interesting, because of course it's going to be really spontaneous. Oh dash. Okay, bit of a splatty tulip down there, but that's okay. That's okay. The nice thing about nature is it isn't perfect. There's usually all sorts of little splats and bobbles on it, and that's part of its joy. So what I'm going to do now, just to give me a slightly different version of pumpkin, is add some black. Add some black in. Add some white in. Let's try going in with the right colour. Okay, here we go. I'm hoping Stephen's going to make me drinks. I mean, he does when I'm teaching. I'm wondering if he doesn't think this counts, because it's not a teaching day, because it counts for me. I think it counts. Okay, so I'm going to block that. Keep that the right way up this time, and then, so I'd like that there. I'm putting them in a line, because I think that might be quite nice. Might not be, but you never, but I think it might be. Hi, Deb! Happy Christmas, lovely to see you. Hi, Michelle, happy Christmas. So that's a nice blot of that. Right, let's find the reverse one. Even if they are printing well both sides, it is useful to have them facing both directions, just because then you keep it clean. You can't see very much, but here where I turn the stencil by accident, there is a slight shading of orange round it. Now, that really doesn't matter, because I'd actually blotted the stencil, but if I hadn't and had turned it over, hadn't blotted it, that would look a bit messy. Right, so we're going to slap down some paler ones now. And I am aiming with this piece of fabric for, you know, in your face. That kind of field of tulips. You know, when you see a whole field of them just flowering, and it just takes your eyeballs out, doesn't it? So that's what I'm aiming for here. And I've just added more white into my orange, because I can see it's starting to deepen down. What happens is when it's on your roller, like it is on mine, it's going to, the orange will come back through quite strongly and quite quickly. If I wanted it to stay really light, I would need to just change, get a different roller, because there's deep orange in the middle of this, which you can see when you turn it on the side. So let's wallop that there. Lovely. Starts to look exciting, don't you think? At this point, I think, oh yeah, that starts to look pretty exciting. And at any point, you can just leave these. It depends what your interest is, what you like doing. But if you were a machine embroiderer, you might want to embroider into these and take elements out for applique. Actually, taking these out for applique would be fabulous, wouldn't it? Not so good where I'm overlapping them, but yeah, they'd be great for applique, just doing those, cutting them out, and making them into applique things. That would look lovely. You might want to put stems on them in here. Completely up to you. I'm just going to obliterate my fabric with tulips. That's my kind of thought at the moment. So get over that. Yeah, that's nice. Right. And what I'm trying to do is just get some sort of balance across the cloth of these different sizes and different orientations and ultimately different colours. And undoubtedly the one that will look the most interesting will be this one underneath. Okay. So let's carry on. Can you see it's getting darker and darker as I go, as the white comes off the roller and I get into the darker underneath. That's okay. That's fine. We don't mind that. So, whoops. And you can see why I wanted this wider space around my stencil, so that I can work like this, because I can get those down really quickly. You know, the idea of stenciling with a stencil brush just isn't in my repertoire really. I'm always in far too much of a hurry. Shouldn't have done that on top of my cloth. I'll get a slight ghost probably. Oh, only a tiny one on there, but that won't matter. Not straight. Why on earth would I want to do them straight? But I think those will be very, very interesting. Okay, so what do I want to do next? I've used those two stencils. Let's go on to, we can either go bigger or we can go onto these smaller ones. How big is that big one? With the big one, it is huge. I think I'm going to go smaller. With the big one, I think I'll show you what I can do through a big space like that to get a different pattern. No, I would love to. One of the things about having dogs or rescue dogs, maybe it's just rescue dogs, I don't really know, but ours just aren't very good at being left without us, so we don't really get away. But I would absolutely, I've seen photos. Fiona Oldfield, a year ago, she brought me back a gorgeous mug with tulips on, but she sent me photos of them. Yeah, I would absolutely love to see those. Stephen and I were talking about this the other night and saying, you know, maybe these will be our last dogs. I don't know if I can actually imagine that, but, you know, if we got cats, from when we had cats, I mean, we loved our cats to pieces, but they didn't mind if we went away for a bit. You know, they survived quite nicely, thank you. Whereas the dogs just go to pieces. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I've got my orange tray, and I think I'm just going to pile into here. I'm going to put some poppy red in now and take this up brighter again. Brighter and deeper. Okay, so that's poppy red with a bit of orange and some white in. But that's fine. That's going to look lovely, isn't it? So let's wallop some of those badges on. Oh, yeah. Gorgeous. And you can do it so fast with a roller like this. You can really bobble through it. Yeah, I've got sort of several lists of places and things that I really desperately would like to see. I don't think I'm a great traveller. I love my home. Too much, but there are things in the world that I really would love to see. You know, Gaudi's stuff in Barcelona is one of them I'd absolutely just love to see. I'm just going to give that a blot. Actually, if I keep it on there, you can probably blot it and not do much harm. Just want to get some blots. Oh, interesting blot. Interesting blot. Look, I've got both background and foreground. It says I've taken some of the paint off there, so we'll just put it back. Yummy. Loving this. I'm loving this. Oh no. It's the rogue hair around the roller. And this red, as I'm printing away, is slowly but surely wearing off my roller, and the roller's reverting to the orange that's in the middle. Eventually you get some really interesting colours going on in the middle of your roller. Hi Alison, happy Christmas. If you haven't just come in when I say happy Christmas, it's just that I've just seen you appear. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's lovely, isn't it? that looks, this has a look, I think, of, that's what I'm aiming for, is those sort of fields of tulips, a sort of big splurge of tulips. Let's just pop a bit more poppy red in there. I might have to go and shout at the other members of this family for a cup of coffee in a minute. And it's Christmas and you just can't get this. I know that could be what it is with Stephen. Stephen is a very, well, he would say himself he's quite OCD in some things. So things are done, you know, in order. And in order for him means I get my tea and coffee done when I'm teaching, because that's work, and therefore that's supporting me working. I don't know what today comes as in his mind, but it's obviously not one where I'm getting a cup of tea, because we've now been going for over an hour and nothing's appeared, has it? And I made my own first cup of tea. So I'll have to go, I don't quite know what he's doing. Okay, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Right, what colour next? I'm going to just blot my stencil. Loving this undercloth. Loving my blotty. And we can add bits to our blotty as well. It's going to be very gentle, our blotty. But I'm happy with blotty, with a gentle blotty. Okay, that's cool. You see the difference when I take the blot off the paper and that off the cloth? That was when it has still had the red through it. Both nice, both nice. Depends what you want. And that's the little ghosty print that gets left, which I think looks really cute. Okay, shall we, I think, let's just, loving those colours. So let's just put a bit of white in with the red. It's a really nice way to work, actually, is with a couple of colours that are close to each other and just keep adding whites to them to change your tones. Tints, if we want to be accurate about this, to change our tints. Right, so this is just same tulip, just facing the other way, and I'm just going really anywhere I can see to shovel one. And that's just adding another colour in there. So this drop sheet is getting on my nerves now because it keeps doing this, and it's because it's very, very, very heavily covered in dye and it's loose. So let's just sideline that over there and let's do this. Let's do this. Right, on we go. So down he goes. Look for gaps. And I'm now sort of thinking through in my mind, am I going to carry on and actually cover the whole sheet? I mean, it would be exciting, wouldn't it? It would be. It would look fantastic. And it wouldn't take as long as we think either, because it's just, I can just rattle away. I can rattle them down quite fast. Hang on, we need a bit more white. Let's see what we do. And then I want to show you another thing I could do, which also I think looks gorgeous. To finish the cloth without putting full-on tulips in it. But tulips are such full-on things. That's what gets me about tulips. They are full-on. There's nothing subtle about a tulip. I may be related to a tulip. That's possible. There's nothing subtle about me either, as you may have noticed. There we are. We'll cover up. That's that spatter that I did earlier. So we'll cover that up a bit. There's a fair few spatters and things on here. Always surprises me, but there always is on my cloths. Okay, I'm liking that. That looks a bit awesome, doesn't it? There's so many options for what I could do here. I could carry on and keep putting the tulips in. I could turn it upside down. You know, I could turn it upside down and put tulips going in the other way. But I think I kind of like it coming up like this. I think I'm going to keep it like this for the moment. So I think what I'm going to do is tweak my colour again. So this time I'm going to add magenta in here. And I really quite like the mix of magenta, which is the cool, from the cool colour wheel. It's the cool red on the cool colour wheel. The red is magenta, and I really quite like the mix of magenta with warm colours like poppy and orange. I think that's a nice mix. So let's see what we get. I should probably blot that boy first. You don't have to blot. I just quite like the blot cloths, and you know, I could be blotting every single time I stenciled. It would just take a long time to get through it, but I would then get double the cloth. Yeah, I like that too. You see, I like it where it's over, I like it where it's crossed over a bit. And actually this one, because it's got that duct tape around, it gives an interesting little square shape around where the duct tape is too. So let's get some pinkies in. Whoa, wow. I can't argue with that, can you? Not really. These would be the Dutch, is it the Dutch Masters mix, the ones that come up every year. I was reading about tulips actually, and it's very interesting, the information about them. Many of them are just not even bred to come every year. They're never going to. You know, it's not us actually. It's not that you've lifted them and stored them incorrectly or anything like that. They're just not designed to do that. But some are, and the Dutch Masters are one that will reliably repeat. And they generally tend to come in these lovely sort of single tulip form and in very bright colours. So I've got some of those going in my garden, and everything crossed, everything crossed. Can you see again my magenta is moving towards, as my roller wears down, it's turning back or moving towards the colour that I had on before, whatever that colour was, which I can't remember. I think this one we've got to fill more or less, haven't we? We're so close. We're so close to filling it. So I'm going to whack down quickly. Could put yellow in here. That would be a bit, it would be very for me. Right, what do we think about yellow? Hi Judy! Fantastic! Merry Christmas to you. Hope you're surviving the weather. Hope you're surviving the weather. Oh, I love it. It's one of the things, I'm not a techie person. I'm not a big lover of the internet. There are times when social media, I'd quite like, you know, I'd drown it. And I'm not on a lot of it. You know, I'm not on Twitter and places like that, because really the very name of it irritates me. I haven't got time to Twitter. But I do love being able to make connections with people that I just never would otherwise. That, I think, is quite amazing. It's just amazing we can do that. Okay, am I going to put yellow in here? I can't decide, you know, it's not a colour I use very often, but on the other hand, there are yellow tulips. Would I put yellow tulips in that mix if I was putting it in a pot in the garden? There's an interesting thought. Now, would I? Would I? Nice thought. Or would I just put, you see, I probably would, because I'd probably put white tulips in with that, actually. Right, I'm going to be super brave and put some yellow in, and if I don't like it. Oh, that's lovely, Maggie. I'm so pleased for you. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely day, and see you soon. I'll see you soon, Maggie. Hi, Mary. Hi, Roz. Lovely to see you. Happy Christmas. Right, I'm going to be super brave and put yellow in. Now, okay, I've got golden yellow, got lemon yellow, I've got old gold. Now, old gold is my favourite, but it's not actually the colour the tulips really come in. Don't think you get old gold tulips, do you? Do you get old gold tulips? Anybody seen a tulip that colour? It's like an antique gold. They're usually one of these two, aren't they? Either bright lemon or golden. I think I might mix those two with a bit of white. Happy Christmas. Thank you, Rose. Glad you popped in. Yeah, it's open house for popping in and saying Happy Christmas. That's what. Oh, look. Oh, no, that's that stencil. That's the one with the thin edge, isn't it? The one that I've had dobbed on me. Okay, here we go. This feels super brave to me, but let's try. And if I really don't like it, I'll stop. But you can't do tulips without any. Oh, lovely. Hi, Sandra. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Lovely to see you, and thank you for popping in. Popping in, saying hello, saying Happy Christmas. That's what Christmas is about. That's what Christmas is about. I did think the shops, I mean, maybe just I didn't go to them actually, that's probably unfair, but I didn't think Christmas was quite as commercial as it can get this year. I thought it was a bit better. Wow, that's super bright. I'm going to put a bit of old gold in there, just to tone it a bit. Old gold is a yellow I make that includes some grey. Oh, that's a nice colour. Let's do that with a bit of white. That's a nice colour, isn't it? Right. Okay, so now, tricky because my tulip stencils are covered in orange, aren't they? Okay, well that one's nearly dry, so I think, oh, well, do I go back to the big ones? Whoa, now then, oh, crikey. Blimey, there's a mind-busting thought. Do I go back to the big ones? Let's try. I'm using, they are permanent, Judy. These are Set a Colour Opaque. They're a fabric paint. So I know you call things different things over there, but these are permanent, washable. I'm working on cotton, so I'll be able to, this will be a fully washable design. Are they too big? Nah, come on. They're the cheeky big yellow ones that somebody's planted in the field, aren't they? I'm not sure if they're too big. Are they too big? Do eat. Do eat. I've done it. I've been so brave. I've been so brave. I'm not sure. I'm straight away, this always happens to me with yellow. I straight away think, oh my goodness me. But they do look nice, don't they? They do look nice. Let's find some big holes for them. And what I might do is go back. I might go back over them with some smaller ones, knock them back a bit. I think it's the size more than the colour. But I think we do need some more big tulips in here because I haven't realised we've got nearly all, you know, that we've got a lot more smalls than bigs. And we want a variety. So we'll have a variety. Yes, so Set a Colour, it's a French company. And these are their opaque fabric paints, which I mix, which won't be of any use to you over there, which I mix into my own collection of about 50 different colours because I just love colour and I don't think they do very interesting colours. But you can mix your own. And of the ones I've used, they are the most opaque and the most resilient. And I'm going to fix these. I've discovered that they fix absolutely beautifully in the oven, really easily. I used to iron them, but I would always get bored partway through and just think, oh God, that'll do. You know, you're supposed to give them 5 minutes. Well, after about 2, I think, oh crikey, I've had enough of this. You like the yellows? Good, excellent. One of the lovely things about art is whatever you do, you always know that somebody's going to like it because, you know, we all have such different tastes, which takes a lot of the worry out of it. So if you, I'll write this in the comments afterwards as well to remind people, but if you, when this is finished, I would leave it for a day or 2 for the paint to cure. Acrylic paint needs to cure, pretty much like the paint we put on our wall. It needs to form a skin over it to protect it. And then I would stick them in the oven. I'm looking for my big tulip facing the other way now. It's for some reason in the drawer. Don't ask because I don't know. Lost my train of thought. It's not surprising, is it really? Gabbling on. What colour am I going to do there? Don't think I want to do a mass more. Go on, I'll do a few more yellows. I bung them in the oven together. I mean, within limits, Gina. But I will get probably all the cloth we'll do today will go in one oven. So I just put it straight onto the rack. I make sure it doesn't touch the sides or top. And then 150, preheat the oven to 150 Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. So it's not a very hot oven. Preheat that and then pop it in 5 minutes, get it out. And it's the best set I've ever had on the paint. It's brilliant. It really sets it fantastically well. It's just gorgeous. And it doesn't, and that will mean if I want to then add dye, all my paint is set. So I'll go through that again when we get to the end of the cloth. So at the end of the video, I'll tell you about fixing them and dyeing them. Might even have to do another video to show you the dyeing, because I can't do it today because they won't be ready. Right, okay. So I've got a nice scattering of yellow in my field, and now I feel the need to put some more small ones in to just, you know, balance that a bit, maybe over some of these yellows. But it does look nice, that yellow. It gives it that kind of, and my field is filling up, isn't it? So let's add a bit of white too. This is magenta, isn't it? That's going to give us some pinks. Let's have some pink, boys. Why not? Why not? Let's see what that looks like. Oh yes, superb. Like that colour. Very, very nice. Okay, so I'm aiming for gaps. I'm aiming to overlap bits of the yellows just to push them into the background a bit, because they're the biggest flowers and they're sitting right on top. You may love that. To me, it doesn't look quite how I would want it. So it is a bit like planting them in the garden, isn't it? You know, it's down to you, but I feel I want to just take those back a little bit. This is a nice colour. This colour looks really nice in here. Just so that they're not sitting so much forward. So just let me show one close to the camera so that you can see what I mean. So this one here, I've put two pink tulips just sitting beneath it and above it, and it just knocks it slightly into the background, doesn't it? It puts that in a back layer. And I think it's just sheer size. You know, I started with the big ones. If I'd had it planned, which I never do, I would have planned that and thought, okay, I'll put orange and yellow in the background and then come on the top. But I didn't think like that. I can't actually. That, to me, it would remove all the spontaneity from it if I tried to plan it like that. So I just work, I've learnt to work with the way that I do things. Not perfect, but all you can ever be is yourself. Be the best version of yourself and forget about trying to be somebody else. And in art, that's just so true. You can't be somebody else, just be you. Nick as to what other people like, you will find your place. You will find that you find your place. Isn't it? It's coming. I mean, I know this is quite a long one. I'll do some quicker ones. This one is always going to be a long, intense cloth, but worth it. I've got, I don't know how much I've got here, 2, 3, got about 3 by 2 foot here. So I've got a good usable amount. And this was always meant to be a very intense cloth. So do we go lighter again? Let's have a look. So this is magenta, orange and lighter. What I might do, I might add a little bit of pumpkin into that, just get it back slightly more orange. So I'm going in for actually, oh lovely, I've got a kind of salmony orange now. I really like mixing everything on the same tray. I didn't put yellow on here because you wouldn't be able to get yellow over the top of these. All it would do is mix with these and make another colour. But all my reds and oranges I'm putting on there, and it just gives me a real lovely variety of colours. In fact, I'd like a bit more orange in that. Get it a bit more salmony. Bubble it up there. Lovely. Oh yeah. Going to be a crack of that. I don't know what I'm going to do with these pieces. I just know I've got an exhibition in April, and I just know I want some pieces, well probably most of it, that really express what to me is the utter exuberance of these flowers. They are so exuberant, and this cloth does. You know, it might be quite nice to do a bigger piece of this cloth and just hang it as this cloth. You know, if I did a big piece or joined some big pieces, you know, that could look fantastic, couldn't it? I find making materials inspires ideas in me. It's always been a way that I've found of getting into a subject is to make materials. It just helps. It helps ideas to come in my head. Right, now what I feel I need now over here is something deeper in this top layer, and then I think I'm done, but that looks pretty flipping cool to me. So I'm going to put poppy. And I love this process. You know, I never buy fabrics, commercial fabrics now. So I really can't see any point. I just absolutely love my own fabrics. They're just, I love everything about them. I love using them, but perhaps more than anything, I love making them. Oh, hang on, we should have changed. Let's just clean that. We should have changed to the one facing the other way for a bit, shouldn't we? Let's do that. So let's just block that there. With a dirty hand. Stevie? Any chance of a coffee?
What did I got it?
A coffee?
A coffee, yeah.
Thank you. You're not in I'm streaming mode, are you? He's so cute. He is so cute. Oh. So I'm just going to put a few of these bright red ones in on the top. That's your, if you think of an archetypal tulip, for me, it's bright red. So we'll just get a few in. And that's going to look, well, it already does, I think that looks awesome. And get used to just, especially on Christmas Day, but any day of the week, congratulating yourself on what you've done. Saying, wow, that's fabulous, I love it. That is a belter. No, I don't, Silvana. Most of the time, I will have a theme that I know I want to work with. So I know I'm working with a theme of tulips. Most of the time, and my preferred way, is to make fabrics and then see where that leads me. Occasionally, I will have a design that I definitely want to make, and I'll make the fabrics to suit because I haven't got them. But more often, I just make fabrics and then I see where that takes me. I know I want some bold and bright ones. And what I will do is I will make a good collection of these. So I think that's enough on there. I'm going to stop there. I don't know whether I'm going to dye the background of this or not, because it's actually quite vibrant already, isn't it? It doesn't really need it. On the other hand, I could dye the background in green. I could dye the background in yellow. I could dye the background in all sorts of things. But I'm going to stop that one there. But what I will do, Silvana, carrying on answering that, is I will now make materials that I think I'm making a collection, if you like. So I'm going to get another piece. I should have one more ripped off at the moment. And apparently not. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a half here. No, that's a little one. That's big. And often I make fabric just for the joy of making fabric, because I just really like making it. But I think if I was making it, when I am making it for something specific, it's not as much fun, because there's kind of, there's rules then, you know, there's something specific I'm aiming for. So, thank you, darling.
There you go.
Brilliant, thank you. Cup of coffee, that's it. That's it, that's what we need to boost. Right, I wanted to show you, well, you see, there's so many things I want to show you. Let's do that again, but this time I'm going to show you putting in a different sort of background, so giving it a very different look. So let's start as we did, and I wonder if I should start this time with my yellow tulips. That's what I said I should have done last time, wasn't it? So let's do it this time. So I'm going to use more or less the same colours. I'm going to speed up to the speed I normally work, which is sort of quite fast. And then I can show you how I would put in a background. I'm just getting a colour I like here. It needs to be yellow enough, but not too yellow for me, you know, that'll do fine. Okay, so I'm just going to put a scattering, actually they look beautiful like that, don't they, of nice big fat yellows. And I'm going with what I thought last time which was I wish I'd put the yellow into the background, and certainly not necessarily the yellow, but all the bigs. Let's get the big lads in the background. It's interesting, this roller must have something dirty on it because I'm getting a bit of grey coming through here. I don't mind, actually, I don't mind, but it's unexpected. So this one's going to be a gentler version. I'll show you how. Two splats already. Well done, me. Couple of splats. Okay, so that's a nice sort of balance across there. Just block that one. I mean, it'd be fun. I've never done it, but like, I know Karen, you did the language of flowers, and probably some of the others of you on here did, to actually make fabrics using, you know, say I've decided I was going to do aster, which I did on the videos, to actually make fabrics printed with asters and use those to make my collage. I mean, there's just so many ways when you can make your own fabric. Kind of the world's your onion. It really is. That's the one I've just used, isn't it? So let's get the one facing the other way. There we are. And so this one, what will we do this in? I'm going to keep the yellow tray clean. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to add a fair bit of white to this tray. And there we are, that's a nice colour. I was going to say, I'll add white and see what we get. And that's basically what I'm doing there. And that's fine. And I'm going to sort of just put a similar splodge across layer of red ones, very splatty red up there. When you do that, it's because you've got over enthusiastic and you've put the paint straight through your stencil to the other side. So a good idea at that point is to give it a clean. So I'll just give that a wipe along the back, but it doesn't really matter in the greater scheme of things. You aren't going to notice that. So I'm just sort of trying to get a bit of balance. This is a pretty colour. Still coming across that edge. Well, knickers. That's what I say, knickers to it. And still. Do I care? I do not. So I really enjoy making a palette of materials that go together. I think that's a really nice way of working. Very much like if you're a quilter, we would go and buy fat quarters that go together. You know, we're tempted by people who put them in packs for us, tell us what goes with what. So to actually think, okay, I'm going to make some materials that go together. Okay. Need to decide on here soon whether I'm just going to carry on blotting over the top or whether I'm going to leave these as potential things I could use and start on another one. But I don't need to decide yet, so that's good. Right, let's get into our smaller stencils. And I love the colour I've got going on here, so I'm going to keep going with this. I think this is a really pretty colour. So let's get a layer of this on. My underneath cloth is getting prettier too. Oh, I didn't show you the back of the other one, did I? So that was his front, which is very glorious. But if I wanted a slightly more muted version, you know, on the back, I've got one that's got all the patterning in it, but a much more gentle version. And you can see the two of those work very well together. And it's why I like this fabric, because I've always liked on paper the backs of my materials. I always think, oh, that looks nice on the back. So it's quite nice to have that option. Tell you what colour we haven't put in is purple. I have to do some purple tulips at some point. Best for the bees as well, best for the bees. Right, what am I going to do with that now? Are we going to orange it or are we going to red it? Let's orange it first. So some pumpkin, whoops. Okay, quite a lot of pumpkin. What I should have put in there maybe was deep coral. Just done my own finger. Okay, here we go. Right. Oh yeah, that's nice. Now, I meant to change direction of my stencil, but I will in a minute. So I'm not completely, but I'm tending to put these tulips together in little clusters rather than as much all over the cloth. You know, some I am putting in gaps, but I've kind of got cluster in my head. Nothing wrong with having a cluster in your head. It's quite nice to have something in your head, I think. That's cool. Okay, I like that. I'm going to change the stencil for the one facing the other way and lighten that colour. Got this underneath one. What we need is this end doing a bit. This is looking really nice. In fact, the way to do that is turn it around, isn't it? Just turn it around. And I think I might as well have this on another piece of material as have it on a paper drop cloth or on a drop cloth, because then I can use it. Right, okay, so we want the other facing stencil, and I think I'm going to take it to red. I said I was going to lighten it. I think I'm lying. I think I'm going to take it to red. If you ever want to, when you're working on a tray like I am here, so say I want to really get red, not orangey red, just get a clean roller. Obviously it's still going to mix with what's on the tray, but I will get red, much more red that way than with that roller that has got oodles of orange in it already. So let's go with this one, and let's pop a few of these on. So this is really, but I'll turn the thing around so it's facing me. It's all, you've got upside down tulips at the moment. I'll turn it around in a minute. And then, yeah, just stick one up there. Here, so just, I mean, if you, there's so many things you could do. You could embroider into this, couldn't you? I'm just thinking, you know, these could be clusters of tulips in the garden where you planted them. You know, you could make stencils and print other plants between them, spring plants particularly, or turn it that way. Oh, that's better. You can see now. You could embroider other flowers between. All sorts of things you can do. Right, that there, there. That's probably, I mean, it's one of those things you could keep going, but I think that's a quite nice balance of colour. So let's say on this one, I'm not going to give it, I'm just going to block my stencil, I'm not going to give it as much coating as the last one I did. But I want something in between. This is where these filler stencils that I picked up come in so nicely. Anybody see what I did with them? Where I put all those nice stencils that were patterns. Ah, yes, underneath my pen tray. Okay, so these sorts of things can look brilliant here. So I could use grids, all sorts of different things. Trellis always looks beautiful with flowers, always looks really good. I could use the grids. I've got these starbursts, sunbursts. I'm kind of quite fancying those. I think I'm going to use those. I mean, I could use dots, you know. Can you imagine if I did dots? It would just look really, really mad, wouldn't it? It would look just so jolly if I did dots all over. In fact, maybe we'll do one and then we'll change colours and do another with a different pattern. But I am fancying these. So, I've got a circular one with smaller bits and I've got a square one with larger bits, and I'm just going to go for it. And what colour? What colour shall we do that in? I think, oh, decisions. When I'm trying to decide on colours, you know, I have to look down at my trays and then I think, oh, yeah, okay. I don't want the bright reds. I don't want to do it in bright red. I think it might look quite nice in, I want to keep the colour on this fairly analogous, I think. So I want to keep within these red, orange, yellows. I mean, green would look fantastic. But I don't know that I want that on this particular cloth. It would look lovely. Lime green would look really nice, but it's not what I want on this cloth. So I am going to try and get myself a lightened version of one of these. Okay, and to do that, again, I'm going to need to change my rollers. I can get it on this tray, add white. But those rollers are really heavily dosed with deep colour. It'll take me a long time and a lot of paint to get that lighter, whereas if I go in here with this and clean roller, and I kind of like a mix of those two colours. Do I like that colour? I think I like that colour. Do I want that colour in there? I don't really know. But I think I do. Do I make it more orangey? Maybe, no. Oh, there's a bit of orange there. There we are. I've made it more orangey. Okay, so let's see how this looks. So this is going to blend, the colour's going to blend with these. And I could go right over the top of them, but I can see through my stencil where my tulips are. I'm not going to fuss an awful lot. Okay, Dot, I was thinking we're doing very well with you still with us. Ah, you're very welcome. You have the most fabulous day, Dorothy. Enjoy yourself, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm going to, without making a huge amount of fuss, put my thing in without going right over. So I'm putting it into that gap. It is going over my tulips, but I'm going to try not to obliterate them. Okay, so I'm going, what I'm heading for is the gaps. That's a nice colour. And then let's put in, let's get in a bigger one here. So just, we've got a bit of variety of the sizes. So I can see the tulips through here. And I can, surprisingly, with a roller, be a little bit gentle about what I put over. I could, of course, do this first, put the tulips on top, but there's something about it done this way that I just really like. I think it looks really nice. It pulls the cloth together for me really beautifully. I like it. So let's just move that. Oh, we've got a gap here. Let's get that gap. And we'll do that gap in the big one. So I'm just trying to vary big and little. Here. Don't spill your coffee. Having nagged for it, Hilary, don't spill it, drink it. Yeah, that looks really nice. Happy with that. Move across here. Let's do some little ones. Let's get some more paint on my roller. I'm going to add a bit more white in. Easier with delicate stencils like this. I love them like this. I really like these cloths like this. It's one of my new favourite things, is sort of doing it, leaving gaps, and then using what I think of as fillers. I mean, these obviously make lovely designs on their own, but they are just so good at filling in, and you can fiddle in around them, and just, this cloth will work beautifully with the other, but it won't be quite as mad. Won't be quite as mad. So let's just carry on. This little one with a circular edge, I think probably looks best, but I like variety, so I'll do a bit of both. It's probably easier to blend the edge of this because it's circular. Depends what you want, doesn't it though? Let's put a big boy in here. So just keep your eye on what's underneath. Don't worry. Because if you do obliterate one, you can always go back over it again. It's not a tricky job. You just put your stencil back over and do it again. Easy peasy. And let's get the small one again. Fab. And if at this point I looked at some of these and thought, oh no, I really knocked it out. It's very easy to find. Finding the stencil is actually probably the difficult bit in my world, but it's easy to find the stencil. You know, that one there, I've got over it. Just put it back over, grab my orange roller, stick my stencil back in again. Done it again there. Obviously down there I had a fairly enthusiastic overdo. So if you wanted to, I could go back over all of this and just touch up any where I think there's a red one there, look, that I've done the same to. Just knock that off. But the thing is, tulips have patterns, don't they? That's the nice thing. Tulips do have patterns, so it really doesn't bother me that my tulips have got extra patterns on them with the lines. But that looks really, really nice, doesn't it? So that one is going to play beautifully with this one. But we've got two completely different looks. This one's, when you put them together, you see how much gentler this one is. But if you're thinking of making a palette of fabrics, you've got fabrics that just work beautifully together. So I'm going to do, what should we do now? What should we do now? Let's have a look. I'm going to change my drop sheet when I go to a different colour, because I'm going to keep this a warm drop sheet. But let's do one more piece in warm colours, and then we'll do some blues. Or I'll tell you what we need to do, which I haven't done yet, is try my grid. I haven't tried my grid of tulips yet, have I? Shall we do a grid of tulips? Let's see how that goes. Where is the grid? I have to try that because I've only just made it. Oh, and I want to do the big boys. I'll tell you what, let's do the grid in blue. Let's do, because these are shrieking out for bright colours, aren't they? Let's do some of these, look. And let's, with the other tulips, we did them very randomly, didn't we? Let's do some that are, so I'm just looking what I've got here. Might remark the right sides on these because I've painted them over. That's the right side and that's the right side. So these ones are cut with the stencil cutter, hot stencil cutter, because getting this, you see the wriggly edge there, that would be quite hard with a knife. So these are cut with the stencil cutter, but when they're cut with the stencil cutter, it does make a difference using them on, use them on the side that you've cut them from. So I've got that going both ways. Okay, so these are, I'm just seeing if they're the same size. This is the biggest, this is the next. So let's do a more regular pattern. And this is how I would build myself up. If you think about it, you buy a pack of fabrics, there's often an all over pattern. There's a bright deep one, there's a lighter one, there's some regular ones. I mean, this would look spectacular done like we've just done the tulips. I don't know if I'll be able to resist that, but we'll give it a bash. Right, so let's start with, I think we might start this tray as well. So let's keep that tray as lights because it's kind of there, isn't it? So we'll keep that as lights, but let's not mess. Let's start, deep coral didn't get a look in, did it? And it's a nice colour, so let's get some deep coral in here. I mean, these are fabulous colours to work with. It's great to have an excuse, because I don't usually work with colours. You know, I would normally have a lot more blues, greens, so it's quite good, it's quite nice. Right, so that's deep coral with a little bit of white in on my roller, and we're going to start, let's turn it again so it's facing your way. I don't know why I'm turning a blank piece of cloth. All I need to do is take the stencil and move it. I do sometimes wonder what goes on in my brain. It's not much, that's for sure. All right, I've got a lot of paint on this stencil, on this roller, so I might make a bit of a splat up here, but I'm going to try not to. So I'm going to use this one, and then I fancy using that which faces the other way in between. I don't quite know how I'm going to do that. What I want is two different colours. Why don't I think ahead? Why don't we think ahead here, girls? Girls and boys, no idea who's watching this. There could be, but for all I know, Stephen is next door just watching his wife. Unlikely scenario, but he could be for all we know. Right, let's put white. Tell you what we'll do. We've got orange there. That's a nice gentle mix. Let's go with this. Okay, so I'm going to use the deep one on the big flower. And I'm going to try and make some more regular patterns this time. Beautiful. I absolutely love this blown tulip pattern. Now, where do we put it? Put it straight in line. I sort of feel, don't you feel it tucks in there rather nicely? Am I going to get myself completely confused trying to do that? Because let's do it. Looks good to me. I've got far too much paint on these rollers. I'm being very lucky that those are actually staying put. Right, I'm going to start another drop sheet for these, because boy do they need cleaning off. I've got really wet rollers here. Just seen the time, can't believe it's gone so quick. Having such good fun. Anyway, we'll keep going for a bit. Right, so then I'm going to repeat. So I've got this one up near the top, and it will, I can't nestle it in quite, you see it's quite tempting to then put that there, but then that's not regular, is it? So Let's try and do a regular repeat, which I think is about that. I'm hopeless at these, but we'll just see. Aren't they? They're just beautiful. They are just beautiful. So satisfying to do. So satisfying to create your own materials and the things you like, and things that count for you, things that resonate for you. So we tucked that into there, didn't we? And I think that looked good. That's my lighter one. Beautiful. I've tucked it in there and nearly taken it over the side of the other one. And then last one over here. Now, the big question now is, can I actually manage to repeat that in any kind of logical way? Those of you that have watched me trying to do repeats know that we're not into my strength here. We're into my confusion zone, but that's okay. I'm happy with those so far. That looks really nice, doesn't it? And that might be a strip that I took out. You know, imagine if I did this down the length of the material, a long strip of it. I could make a beautiful strippy quilt. Imagine I did these along the length in these colours, and then I did another piece of fabric, same thing along the length, but in blues. Now, how awesome would those look put together as a strippy quilt? Or I could do one here, I'm in oranges, I could do one in reds, one in yellows, put those together. I find when you start making materials, you start having ideas. It all gets a lot easier. That wouldn't come to me straight out of my head. Straight out of my head, I wouldn't think, oh, I know, I'm going to do strips of blown tulips in oranges, reds and blues, and then I'm going to make long strips of them, small one, large one, small one, large one, slightly offset. My brain doesn't work like that. But when I start making the materials, my brain starts triggering off the ideas. Now we've got a choice here. We can carry on, and that would be the easiest for me to carry on in line. But I vote for let's alternate. So I think the first one to put in is probably the big boy here underneath. Loads of things I could do here. I could carry on. Hi Jackie, how lovely to see you. Haven't seen you for absolutely yonks. Happy Christmas from Newport to Norfolk. You've got the king down there, haven't you? I could carry on with the same pattern. So big, small in the same colours, and it would make strips down. I could, which is what I'm going to do, turn and alternate them. Or I could keep the same patterns, but just change the colours around. Anything you like to do. So many ideas. Yes, exactly. I know, that's the trouble with doing this on Christmas Day, is you then have to go and be sociable. When actually what you want to do is, right, let me get my fabric out. I just need to make myself some stuff. So let's pop that there. No, I said, and it was the right thing, let's put the big one in first. Let's get him positioned, because he is actually going to have to sit sort of, oh, I don't know, sort of there. Should we put him sort of there looks good. Have you not? I cannot believe it, Jackie. I would have thought you'd have been first on the invite list. Well, I'm shocked. Okay, so we're going to have one of those there, we know that, and we're going to have one of those here. So let's wallop those in so that we can see that bit. Oh, this is going to be a nice piece of material, you know, I can feel it's going to be a nice piece of material. I can feel it in the water. Right, now what we have to do, yeah, okay, so this, we sort of tucked this lower there, didn't we? See, and I'm glad I started with that, because I would have put, you see, I don't want it there. But that is where it is. Okay, we're going to have to find something to go in here. I could maybe have brought those up closer. That red line. I didn't. So too late. So this needs to make it fit. That's exactly where that needs to go. And you know, you could paint a whole quilt like this in sort of things, stitch around them, you know, rather than a plique or piece. You could just paint a whole cloth in patterns. I mean, that would be a bit awesome, wouldn't it? That's nice, actually. Maybe I'll leave that gap, or maybe at some point I've got to put spots in. Spots have to be done, because to me they just, not that there is a spotted tulip, But as far as I'm concerned, that's a massive oversight on God's part. The absence of the spotted tulip. I know you've got the ones with viruses, but they're not really spotty, are they? Okay, let's just be missing a lot of blotting opportunities there, I suspect. Right, okay, so we're off again on the next line. Let's do the same again because that's going to help me position it. I'd definitely be getting this wrong otherwise. So we're going to put our red in under here. It's not red, he's coral. And there. Oh yeah. Yeah, where have I got him? That's about the same actually. You could of course grid off your fabric. You could grid off your fabric and then you could get this really even. It's just not going to happen for me. I'm too impatient. But that would be the way, you know, just some gentle pencil lines to get your pattern into. Apparently I've seen people do that. Oh, of course the boys have had Santa. Of course the boys have had Santa, and they're fine. They came in earlier, Jackie. If you watched back at the beginning somewhere, they did pop in to say Happy Christmas after they'd been out for their Christmas egg. They came bouncing in to say Happy Christmas, but they'll both be with Daddy somewhere, chilling out now. Chilling out, having a good snooze, waiting for Mummy to stop playing and come and have brunch. Now, that looks peculiar. How on earth does that work? That's right, it goes lower. Every time that looks odd to me. And then I realise, no, it isn't odd, it just goes lower. Lovely. And you can see I haven't got that particularly even. I never do. I don't get anything particularly even. Right, another row. Reds first. Definitely need something in between for my money. And I need some more paint on there. And I need to stop calling deep coral red because it isn't. If I put red on here, we'd know it wasn't red. Because it's nothing like red. Okay. A couple of those and an extra badger off the edge there. That's just a little bonus extra on there. Most of my stuff has little bonus splats on it. And down here. And you could as well print up some, you could print up layout paper or dally paper to stitch, but you could print up just some copier paper with these patterns and use that to start designing some, start having a play with what you might do with them. Hang on, I've come off my drop cloth. Last line. Yeah, and then I need to think what to do in between. Could leave it like that. You know, as long as I was going to add dye, that would be fine. I sort of feel surely there's something I could put down those lines. Okay, so a red, a coral, deep coral, deep coral. I almost feel I need to put red on here just to prove the point to myself and everyone. Whoops! Don't fold your fabric while you're stenciling because you get that. Let's put that let's put that on there, shall we? There we go. Okay, and my rollers are lovely for stenciling now because they're really sort of they've not got a lot of paint on, which is actually perfect for stenciling. Oh God, I've dropped that a long way. I don't know if I've got any stencils this little, but we'll have a look. Definitely got stamps that side. Okay. Ah, just see the other size of flower. Okay, so we now have a nice, pretty cloth, which I could certainly leave like that. It would look very lovely. It's different again, but going to connect with that one. Different again, but going to connect with this one. You know, that would make a lovely palette, but I feel that needs something else on. So let's have a look. I'm looking at this, which, you know, I could get in there each time. Should we do that? Oh. Right, what are we going to do it in? Do I keep this all in oranges or do I flash in a red? Do I flash in a yellow? Ooh, yellow, that would be cheeky. Okay, so I've actually got a right and a left one, which would be nice. Or I can just use, I think, one colour. Red's going to be too close to coral. What about magenta? I mean, that's just the one where I kind of think, whoa, that's a bit much. Magenta, that's a bit saucy, isn't it? So let's do that. Let's put magenta in. Oh, now make a decision. Do I want magenta mixed with deep coral, which will be very dark, or do I want magenta mixed over here with the lighter colours? I think we go with the lighters. It's just a call, really. And there isn't a right or wrong answer. There's never right or wrong answers in art. Always just views and opinions. This is a real clash pot of colours, but I've got it on my other two cloths. I'd like to have it on here as well. Okay, let's just see how deep this is. Do I want to, if I roller this out a bit more, I'll get more of that lightness off my roller. Will come through as I go along. So yeah, let's go for it. I mean, that's bold. So I'm going to put in this side first. Now, I could make it easy and turn it. Let's go into a space where I'm going to get two in. If I turn it on a right angle, will I actually get two in there? I need to be sort of in the middle of there. Oh, I think I will just. Okay, so let's do that. This may be too big. This may be too big. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? And that is just get on with it and do it. And let's see. Oh no, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice. That makes that look jolly. Oh yeah, I love that. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the obvious ones I can see. Not that there's much obvious to me, but it's going down this side of the gap, isn't it? Quite likely I'm going to go wrong here, but that's okay. So I've got it there. I think that's the same. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh. So I'm just going to fit in here. Why? Am I on the same place? I'll just scratch my antlers for a moment there and ponder life and scratch your antlers. Yep, that's fine. I know I've got some fill-in to do here, but I'm going to get these easy ones in first because it's easy and I can see what I'm doing. So that one, I know we go just off that red, not that far. Yeah, am I really going to fit one in there? I don't think I am. I think that's just wishful thinking, but that's okay. We'll get this one in and then we'll have to have another idea. It's okay, I'm happy with having more ideas. I'm good on ideas, I'm not good on planning repeats. So, I think there. I love this colour on here. It's a real clash, but that's what tulips do. Warm and cool colour, real, all together. Looking funny. Oh, we mustn't forget to do him. Mustn't forget to do him, we have to do him. The blues might have to wait for another day. Right, okay, I'm happy with that. Now, I need to finish these. So, on this, going across here, it's just filling in these edges. It'll always look nicer if you get the edges in. So here, on this pinky one, if we look on that, coming down from there, there is the top of this. Just coming across there. So I'm going to get that in. And you'd be surprised how much difference it makes to the cloth, actually putting these edges in, so that it's got some continuity. Running out of places to put me things. My drop cloth's bobbling around a bit on me. Okay, and then over here, you see there would be a bit of this sitting there. That one's going across, there. One over here. And then I think here, beneath that would be, yeah, there'd be one here, wouldn't there? Is that correct? Yes, it is. Correctamundo. Right, okay, so now I don't think I've left enough space, finish that there, to put one going the other way. which is annoying of me, but we'll check. I mean, when I tried it, they seemed to fit. Oh, it's a bit touch and go. I think that's a slightly bigger one. Is that a slightly bigger one, or is it exactly the same kind? It is exactly the same size. Making that up. Fab, isn't it, Fee? It's a gorgeous colour. I'm just loving those colours. It will go in there, but it's going to crush it. You know, there's a little bit of white round here. That's annoyingly just slightly too big, which really is annoying because it's exactly what I want to put in there. So now I am going to have to do thinking. On Christmas Day, I'm going to have to do thinking. Let's have a look what else I've got. I'll just block that. Anybody seen what I've done with my stencils? I thought they were under there. No, that must have been a long time ago. Okay, we've got those two. Got the big one. Got two big fatties. I've got this one, but this is a very... it doesn't fit anyway. I'm not sure that one of those really works, does it? Oh, my. Delilah, what am I going to do there? What am I going to do in there? I don't want a grid, I don't think. Let me see. I have probably got another stencil somewhere with a flower on that I could do. I think I've got some... There's a clematis there. I think that, although it's not the same flower, is probably going to work, isn't it? I think so. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to lighten up the magenta a little bit. Just a little bit. Pop him on there. Nicey. That will get deeper as I stencil, because it's on a dark roller. Yep. There it is, sitting on the bottom. Yes, I think so. That is just so cunning, isn't it? That is so cunning. That's the same flower, so let's just do it straight. And I think changing, that looks fine, doesn't it? I think changing it to one of the tulips with a gobby head, just to use a phrase, would just, I don't know. I just don't feel it's the right shape for on here, whereas I feel this is fine, nice shape. And this could be a blown open tulip. It is in fact meant to be a clematis, but actually I've noticed as I've done flower stencils that once you start simplifying flowers, really, they're all well, no, they're not, but a lot of them are very similar. You know, that could be a clematis, couldn't it? So could that. So, and this clematis could be a blown open tulip. It's a bit regular for a blown open tulip, but it could be. Well, I'm loving this colour as it gets darker. We're almost into the purples. Almost into the purples there. Yumbo. That is gorgeous. Right, okay, a little bit more white because I'm getting quite deep. Getting quite deep there. That's lovely. That's another nice sheet. Where else do I need this? I think above the red. But I don't think it does go there, but there's gaps, so I'm going to stick it there anyway because I like it, and that's good enough reason for me. Just check if there's any more gaps anywhere else. That's a fairly classic repeat for me in that it's a sort of repeat with a few mistakes and then a completely different stencil, but that's about right for me because I'm just not good at positioning it, but I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. Love the pants off it. Another one. Oh, do we put a bit of yellow on it? We've done yellow and everything. You know, I could put a yellow grid around that. No, I'll leave that one alone. Really happy with that one. Right, I'm going to do one more for the road. And I think it's going to have to be, well, there's two things I want to do. So I want to do, definitely, I've got my big poppy. I want to do my grid as well. So what I won't do is change colours dramatically, and then that will save me quite a bit of time and space. So let's start with this boy. Okay, so this, I've only got one of it, but let's do a line of them. So this pattern, we've done as an irregular all over very luscious pattern, and then we've done it as a slightly less all over, but oh no, I can't believe it, my smartest t-shirt, a hole, unbelievable. And then we've done it, oh hang on, there's a clematis one's blotting there. I will find the word in a minute. Less intense and with some grit in between. Okay, so what, but this big one, I can do this as plain splat. And it will be fine. It's just going to be very big, that's all, isn't it? Now, you can put two colours. Whoa, and I've messed it, but never mind. Put two colours through one stencil. This is going to be quite a lively poppy, this one. So this is coral and thingy, and so that can help break it up. That there is just me being messy and going across the stencil edge. You can get, so let's do a line of two-tone. Let's just perk up my paints. I'm going to perk up this paint with red, actually. And get some red next to that magenta. There's plenty of magenta. Let's perk that up. So that's one way of making a very large one a bit more interesting. And you can do the same with the small ones as well. Clean, well done me. And then let's just put, that's nice, I like that mix. That's perfect. That's lovely. So I'm doing these big because I think they'd be absolutely amazing cut out and appliqué on something else. That's my sort of thought with these. They're so delicious. They would be lovely cut out and appliqué, wouldn't they? I could do a whacking great vase of poppies. Oh, I wish I could stop calling them poppies. It is quite irritating. And I could carry on and make, you know, this would be a very large scale pattern. My brain just goes into overdrive, really, of all the things I could do. You know, this is it on a smaller scale. I could now make a very large scale repeat pattern, couldn't I? Which would look cute. Yeah, I don't know if I can resist doing that. I might just do that. Let's just do, well, let's do another line anyway. Let's at least do another line. So I'm just loving that colour combination. Magenta and poppy red. Warm red, cool red. I'm going to put a bit of white in my magenta. That's okay. It's okay, Liz. It's fair enough. It's fair enough. I'm into overtime. I just, my mind won't stop flashing of ideas. So, but yeah, have a fabulous day. Enjoy your Christmas. Right, here we go. So, now I've got a very wet roller here, so I might make a mess. And a pale tulip, as you can see, but that's going to look stonking with a bit of poppy red on. Oh, yeah. Imagine the size of jug I could put these into. That's what I think I'm going to do with these, is cut them out. But I'll be putting some nice patterns around them too. So let's do 6 like that. And then I can show you on here, okay, another way. So I'm going to get more poppy in my poppy. And I'm going to get plenty of white in my magenta because I want quite a colour contrast for this one. I could have even more than this. So let's do these ones in poppy red. Okay, what a tulip. So, and I could leave them like that. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? If I wanted to add more pattern to that, the first thing I'm going to do, because it's soaking wet, is blot it. Just going to give it a blot to stop it being so wet. That's just because I was using a very wet roller. I can now use another stencil to go through it and give it pattern. Now, I could give it a pattern. Oh, yeah. Can I resist? No. Let's give it clematis patterns. I mean, you can use anything you want to put patterns on your tulips. I mean, look at that. That is just too nice to ignore. Right, it isn't what I was going to do, but I can't resist that. So let's put that and that. I'm going to have to do that again. That was a bit lush, wasn't it? So these are the clematis tulips. Well-known breed. Love them, love them, love them. So one colour, you just need a couple of contrasts. I think so too, Pauline. I'm pretty taken with those. I mean, that only got done because the clematis was there looking at me. Absolutely lush pants. Oh my goodness me. This is joyous. I mean, that's such a simple stencil, isn't it? It is such a simple stencil. But how pretty is that? How pretty is that? Why don't we do, oh, I'm going to do cloths and cloths of these. I can see it coming on. Let's do some more at the bottom here. Where's my undercloth gone? Anybody seen the drop cloth? Oh, there it is. So, it's so mucky, I didn't recognise it. Okay, so should we do the reverse of that? Why don't we do pink ones, and then we'll do red clematis on these. And let's remove that big splat of white paint off there. That's just going to cause bother. Okay, so let's do some pink ones. So I'm leaving plenty of space in between these so that I can take them out as separate elements for applique, because that's what's in my head. Oh, that's not very reddish anymore. Hopefully enough. Oh, well that was. I may have made a bit of a mess of all of that. Oh no. Oh, I love, 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 love those. Oh, I love them. I want these tulips in my garden. And I will definitely be making for my exhibition lots of tulips in pots as well as tulips not in pots. And these would be fantastic. I mean, I could cut them out as appliques. I could do them in squares and put sashing around them, or what do we call it in this country? Sashing, that's you in America. What do we call it? Around the edges. Anyway, I could put bits around the edges. That's the point. I could put bits around the edges and put these as squares in another thing. They are absolutely, I'm going to do loads of this. I will be getting ready for loads of these getting done. I think they look fab. I'm going to have to do one more sheet. You are free to go and have your Christmas whenever you want, but this always happens because just look at those. They're beautiful. I know they look a bit plain on there like that. Let me show you this bottom line particularly up close. So that's the red ones with pink clematis flowering, and that's the pink ones with red clematis flowering, and those I am excited. Just gorgeous, those, aren't they? You know what I want to do now, don't you? I want to cut an even bigger one and put more patterns through it, because that just looks so glorious. And it's so simple, isn't it? We can make this so complex if we want to, but we don't need to. You can make it really, really simple. I'm going to have to do, yes, yippee, we've got one more sheet. We've got another sheet. We have, because I want some more of those boys. Tell you what I'll do. Because I want to try my grid as well. I can't believe I've run out of fabric. I got loads off this morning. No, I can't have used it all. That can't possibly be true. Or maybe I'll try my grid on a piece of paper. Oh no, there's fabric down here. Phew! I was going to say that can't be true. That cannot possibly be true. Gorgeous, wasn't it, Sully? Yeah. Eyeballs all over the place. And can you imagine if I cut a stencil of a pot like this, you know, just a pot, big, open, I could then, should we do that? Should we just do that? Should we just do that? I mean, the boys are all happy. No problems for me here. Let me get another piece of Mylar. Yep, no, it's got to be done. It'll take me 10 seconds. I need a big pot for those tulips. It needs to be a big pot. Let's get this. So, oh, I don't even know if I've cut enough there. That, I can get a big round pot on there. You're all okay, aren't you? They're all okay. I've just gone to the toilet. So let's make a big pot. And this is good. This is a good example, actually. That, you know, when you think of something, just do it. Don't trouble yourself for long. Now, I know I can't, without effort, if you're on the drawing class, you'll know that, oh no, we haven't done symmetry yet, but you can draw symmetry. But I know that I can't without quite an effort. So, what sort of pot? I want a bit of space around the edge of this, don't I? That's the way to go. I haven't made this tall enough. I want a taller pot than this. But okay, these tulips are going to go into a fat pot. Okay, so we're going to put them into, Do I put them in one like that? Or do I think maybe a bowl? I was arranging in the kitchen. What would I put them in? I'm going to go for a bowl. Okay. There's only one way I am going to get that symmetrical, and that's to do that. And see what size that looks. Actually, that might still be wet. No, it's not. Okay, so what I will do is fold that in half. I'd normally do this on tracing paper. I'm thinking on my feet a bit because I want this done, but I need to make this pot just so that we can see how awesome. Whoops, that's a bit of a wobbly line. That's going to give me a symmetrical pot. We'll give it a slightly downed top and a straight bottom. Let's chop that boyo out. That won't take long. That's going to allow us huge big gaps to make fun things in. Oh my goodness. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. And actually, this pot's so big that the piece of mylar from the middle is a nice size for I could cut another whole stencil out of that or something, couldn't I? Or use it as a mask. Right, okay, so we've got a big pot, chaps. We have got one big pot. So, what colour did I did the tulips in red and pink, didn't I? It doesn't really matter here because I'm sure I'll do quite a bit of this, but let's do, I mean, red and pink, I know I would probably want, oh, I mean, do I do a red and pink pot or do I need a different colour? Do I get it? I have got more trays here. Could do a yellow pot. No, not appealing to me. Blue's appealing to me. Maybe I do the red and pink pots and then I do blue tulips later. Good! It's such a good way. I mean, it's just, I can't, it's such a good and such an easy way of getting yourself into a theme and into ideas. Right, which we're going to, let's do the red pot. Let's do a big F off red pot, that. Do you know, I've never seen a big red pot. Ever. There must be some reason for that. Are they not popular? Right, this could get messy. Wouldn't surprise me because I've got a huge mask here. Really, it would be good to put that down with something like 505 just to temporarily hold it. Oh yes, you could. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, you could cut shapes in that, and then you would have a pot you could put in with patterns on. You're dead right, Fee. But I'm just going to go for this. You can see it's not. Do I make an effort? Oh God. It just seems okay. Got something this big. Don't ever bothered doing this before, but if you've got a really biggy one that you think is going to move around, with 505 spray. Put it down, and this will just temporarily hold it against the fabric for me so it doesn't move around. I can't believe I've done that. It will block now. It's bound to, isn't it? So let's put on our pot. And this is so big, we could put on, you know, a little bit of variation in our pot colour. Let's just take it a bit paler at the top. Just a little bit. Yeah. It's nice, isn't it? So excited. What a Christmas present to myself. Okay, while the stencil's still in place, let's grab, well, let's do the clematis, because that's the one I was quite excited about. That's a very wet clematis. I think I might block this clematis, because I think it might be dirty-girty. So let's just pop it on there. That's a big pot, isn't it? I mean, of course you could cut a pot like that out of fabric separately. Of course you could, but it wouldn't be as exciting, would it? Right, so I'm going to put my clematis over this pot in pale magenta. I'm loving this combination. So the pale magenta isn't staying pale for that long, simply because, now, do I want it right across, or do I want, no, I think I would like a thing going sort of bottom right to top left. Well, do I, or do I want a few more? No, I'm going to leave, well, or do I do them all over? Well, it looks very much as though I'm going for the all over option. Okay, let's try that. Oh, superb. Oh my goodness me, I couldn't be more happy with that. Couldn't be more happy with that. That is going to be awesome. I'm going to do it again. Of course I am. I just need to, well, can I get another one on here? Of course, I haven't positioned myself sensibly. No. I want to leave enough space, you know, because I could cut these out and do them a different way, couldn't I? If I go that way, there's a bit more space around these. So let's go that way with this. And this time, I'm going to do a different pattern. So, let's do a pink pot. Wow, that's pink. Pinky magenta. I want a bit more white in that. I want to keep this light so that the red really shows on top. So let's again add a bit more in. Once you've got your stencil held with a bit of 505 like this, and a big stencil like this, you have got a bit of time to play with that. Oh, see a spotty pot. How awesome would that look? Being done. I was going to put the big flowers on, but I then saw the spotty stencil and thought, oh crikey, that's just going to look a bit cute, isn't it? And it is. We just need a few more at the top. That's how big my pot is. Maybe down here. Maybe. Yeah, why not? How could you resist that? Whoa! Fantastic pot. What a corker of a, what a stonker of a pot that is. Right, okay. I keep saying okay, don't I? But, you know, I do mean okay. Right, an orange one. Let's do an orangey one. So let's get, is there any chance of pale orange on there? Well, give it a try, couldn't we? It has, woo, sorry, I've just got a thread coming off here. That's superb. They're going to look awesome. With my, let's just find the poppies. With these in, aren't they? I mean, there's my pot. And there's the matching poppies. I mean, you've got to love that. And I could do spotty poppies for that one, or I could mix it up. I could put flowery poppies in the spotty pot and spotty poppies in the plain pot. Right, okay. Another pot, then I'm going to do my grid, then I am going to shut up and go and get some brunch. Aren't they? Just massive fun. And yes, of course, I could just cut pot shapes out of pattern fabric, but it's such a nice way of doing it, because I can cut these out and then I've got them to play with. You know, I might do a huge quilt with a whole big line of big pots with huge poppies on. There's a nice idea. Right, I'm fancying getting this a bit more orangey. I'll give it a try on here. It is very, very magenta now, isn't it? I've just seen the, well, I should probably have done the other tree, but anyway. This might go a bit of a grim colour, actually, on top of all of this lot. Oops, shouldn't do this on, oh no, that's okay. That'll do nicely. That's sorry, I shouldn't do it on top of my thing, because I do that and get splats of paint on, but we won't worry about that. We won't worry. Right, is this still sticky? Yeah, I think so, just about enough. There's not a lot of stick left in that 505 now, but I think enough. What I'll do is I'll just put my sheet over and push it down. Paint on it, so. There we go. Right, so orange pot. Nice, actually it's a nice orange. I suspect I'd get some very nice spots, you know, here off the edge of my roller, and I would look at those because they've got a lot of different colours in there. That'll be nice because I like spots. Right, now what we're going to do on there, I mean, I think it would look great, you know, with that starburst. I think that would look really cool on a pot. but I'm thinking of doing it in our big poppy. This one. I did this for some of the pots on some of the pots on one of the crops I've done, and it looks really nice. So let's do that. And this will be absolutely lovely to stitch as well, because I can stitch into all these patterns. Fab! That's going to be another nice pot, isn't it? That's the dirty bit, but there's another nice one. One more pot, and we'll do it in the reverse. So we'll do it in, I'm just going to give that another quick spray of 505. Those are just awesome. I mean, honestly, you would buy pieces of fabric done like this, wouldn't you, to cut pots out of? I can just see them in Kisco, as it was. Then we thought, oh well, yeah, I'm going to buy those, I'm going to buy those, I'm going to cut pots out, and I'm going to put my tulips in them. And it would be awesome, and it would. Right, so we're going to do, what are we going to do here? We're going to do a red pot. I never got to blue, still need to do the whole lot in blue. A little bit of white in the top again, just to, I think I've forgotten that one. I think it does look nice. Hey, I'm just wondering what these are going to look like on the other side as well. I think that could be pretty awesome. That may be one of my favourite stencils, that boy now. Okay, so I've done the big flowers. Do I do big flowers again? They do look nice, don't they? Do I do the river? Oh, I tell you what would look nice. Is this beautiful stencil. We haven't used it, so let's use it. This is this lovely William Morrissey one. So I'm going to knock my orange up nice and light. I'm going to block that first. I haven't always done that, but it's going to help. While there's very wet red paint on here, it's going to mix with the orange and turn it darker. And I'd like quite a good contrast. So we'll just take some of that wetness off. Add some more white to this so that I've got a really bright orange. Bright light. Lovely. Okay, so this one, it's the right side. May have to move this around, or I could do, I feel I would like the smaller ones up at the top. Might do a band across. Might do it like this. Oh yeah, that's going to be nice. And just take it again. Bit of a splatty bob there, but that doesn't matter. I can cover that up with a bit of stitch later. That's beautiful too, really. Can't tell you how happy I am with those boys. I'm very, very happy, and I could do another bit of tuliping on the end of here, and I've got some more prints. It's always worth when you've finished with your rollers, because the more you've used them, the more they will have in them. Somewhere I've got a classic video of using up rollers, which just had masses in. Yellow one there. And these bits in between, obviously I am going to take out the pots on here, but I will put some stenciling into the background here of, you know, it could be anything. Let's do it in this. I'll put some spots there, but let's do it in this. I don't want to hit my pots, but I do want something so that I've got some useful fabric. I don't want to just waste fabric by having white fabric. So this is going to look a bit peculiar in here, but that doesn't matter. I'm just aiming to get myself something useful to use in the background. This would have made a nice pattern on one of the pots as well. So make the time just to fill in and get your material around your pots. If you're doing pots, filled in. That was just awesome fun, that was just too much fun. Almost too much fun, almost an indecent amount. So I will carry on the rest of that cloth doing that, and then I'm just going to find a little bit of cloth because I just need to trial my little grid. I've got a very nice drop cloth here now with all sorts of stuff on it. So I'm just going to get a little bit, and then I'll shut up, and that'll be a bit of an awesome, that'll be an awesome stream. It's about time I did a 3-hour one. I've done 3 hours for a long time. Okay, so I just want to try this out before I go and eat. Shows how enthused I am because I'm starving hungry. Starving hungry. It's brunch. It's not dinner I'm thinking about, it's brunch. Right, those are all wet, never mind. Right, yes, this. I just want to see what this looks like. And it might be rubbish because it's new, but I just fancy doing this with tulips in it. So let's try. That roller's a bit dry. Oh, that's probably getting to have moved. Well, oh no, I've got a grid okay there. I was a bit lucky because my roller really didn't have very much paint on there. Yep, it was a bit of a classic, wasn't it? It was an hour and a half later, I was still going, and I made so much fabric. So much fabric. I made that into something with the year 2, 2020, year 2 MIPS. I used that fabric. Made a kind of seaweedy piece out of it. But yes, it was a bit awesome, was that? Right, so let's carry on. So this couldn't be a simpler stencil. It's just a series of straight lines. But I just fancy the idea of putting my tulips in these. Now that might look awful. For all I know, it'll look absolutely rubbish. But one thing's for sure, I never will know until I just get it tried, so. Okay, that was a bit of a silly time to move it, but anyway, okay. So I'm overlapping the stencil a bit. I haven't done anything fancy like putting markings on here, but I'm just overlapping it so I can sort of see it, so that I can run it down, run it off the top. And we will be doing something to do with my exhibition. Oh yeah, so you'll see a lot of this cloth used in the exhibition, which I would love you to come and visit. It will be at the Needle Museum in Redditch in the UK, which I can see might not be great for some I can see definitely names coming up from abroad, but you might want to come and visit the UK. I will also be taking these to Festival of Quilts at the NEC in Birmingham, and when I'm at the Needle Museum, I'm also teaching. I didn't think these were fitting very well. That's because I've got my stencil the wrong way around. What a complete blithering idiot. I am teaching a workshop called Tulip Mania, same as my exhibition, and we will be making stencils and using them to stencil paper and fabric, which we're then going to make into a folded book that you can then stitch, which you can do in paper or fabric as well. So there are only a couple of places left, but there are still a couple of places left. So if anybody fancied that, that's next April as well, and at the same time as the exhibition. I can't wait to see my own exhibition. Oh, hang on, my stencils just bust again. I'm obviously have not been very good on these corners, so I'll just get it across. I should like that piece of fabric like that. This would be really nice. Simple though this stencil is, it would make a lovely piece of fabric if I just repeated that grid, you know. I won't, because I want to put my tulips in it, but it would, you know, if I just carried on and put the grid over again, but in a slightly different position. you know, so it would make a really nice linear fabric. But I'm going to put tulips on it. So we've got the orange, we've got baby tulips. I just want to see how this looks. Right, okay, where's my baby tulips? See, I see that could be quite exciting. That would just overlap the grid. I can see lots of possibilities for playing with this grid. But at the moment, the game I want to play is the little tulips that, whoops, don't drop, oh, for heaven's sake, Hilary. Now, there's one. I think they're both in black edges, aren't they? There. That was a good clue. There's the other. Right. Okay. I'll start in the middle, because why wouldn't you? So this is my thought, that I can put them in there, and let's just, because we can, give them, if I just perk that up with a bit of red, I could give them a bit of warmth at the bottom. I mean, I could, even on this one, put patterns on them, couldn't I? But I'm just going to give them a bit of a, I'm just going to, oh yeah, you see, I think that looks, this is going to look so cute. So it's going to be every other one like this. So let's put a red bottom, orange top. Oh dear, that's got me excited as well. Mine spins off into 1,000,001 different ideas. And the thing I love about everything we've done today is the stencils have been so simple, haven't they? They really are incredibly simple. There's nothing, the only complicated one was the William Morrissey one that I put across the jug. And we didn't need that. You know, I could have put spots or more flowers. They're just such simple stuff, but so I'm doing it my way again. How selfish. I'm going to turn it to you so you can see. I think that just looks so cute. I love it. And then, so I'm going to do, let's do a diagonal of those right across. So, orange and red. Whoops. And red. It's just such a gorgeous theme, isn't it? Tulips. I loved them when we did them in the Inspired by Tulips workshops, and I just think they're gorgeous. Right, and then we've got the tulip that goes the other way, so let's do that in, let's just try and do that in bright red. There's a bright reddy. Might do all the bright reds first. Oh, doesn't that look bigger? Because it's in, it must be because it's in one colour, because it isn't bigger. It's the same size. Yeah, it's the same size. It just looks bigger. Okay, so let's do a line of those. And yeah. And then, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to do all different tulips on diagonals, or do I repeat that pattern? I think I might do all different tulips, why wouldn't you? Right, so let's put that there. Now I want something light on there, so I'm going to get white on my red tray and get a clean roller. I don't know yet, Kathy. So I probably will. I won't the pots and I won't the tulips. You know, the big fat tulips and pots, I don't think need it because they're very dense. There's just a lot of paint. But the others, it's very possible, yes. And if I do, I will post pictures to show you so that you can see them and label them as from this stream. I will keep them in these in this colour scheme. So let's put white tops on these. Oh no, I don't like that. It's made that too similar to that. A bit of white bottom, better. So one like this, yes, I will probably add dye to this to fill in that background because I just think it looks so nice. It's difficult when I really love the cloths because you always worry that, oh, I might spoil it. But actually, I don't think I've ever felt that I have spoilt it when I've done it. I've really liked what I've done. I mean, I am programmed to like what I've done because I think I might just as well like what I've done because it's as easy as not liking what I've done. What colour? Let's do a stripy one. There's an idea. Let's do orange again. Okay, so let's put in oranges. And they shouldn't have been this way round. It should have been the other way round. So there we go. As ever, I mess it up. But anyway, we'll pretend that that's the way around I wanted it. It is. I wanted 2 this way and then I'm going to put 3 the other way. And again, this is a cloth that could be used so many different ways, isn't it? I could, obviously I could take the tulips out and use them as appliques, but I could use a cloth. I could use a cloth like this. I could use a cloth like this. I could take strips off and rejoin them. Or I could just slice right down the middle. I would quite enjoy slicing down the middle of one, slicing down the middle of the other, and putting 2 halves that don't quite match together. I like doing that. Okay, so I'm going to make this one a stripy one. Where is this? I think this will look cool. Let's go for that now. It's that. That's what I'm wanting. I want it to come up and through my tulip, and I'm going to put that in. Wow. Really, to show it needs to be in red, doesn't it? No, let's go with deep coral. That'll show. That'll show. Get back my darker roller. I think this will show. Where's the tulip? Where is it? Where is it? There. I think this might look nice. I may be wrong. Oh yeah, I like that tulip. Yeah, I think that's fairly cool. Too much paint, but you know, that's me. Oh yeah. So I'm going to try not to plan them, which is difficult because you look at the pattern and you think, oh, I think it would look nice like that, which is what I did the first time. And you know, I may have been wrong. Hard though that is for me to conceive. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, nice. So even with these little ones, you can still do the same thing. You can add your paint and add a bit more. And add a bit of patterning. So we'll do that with that. Okay, and then let's come, we want red next. So let's do pale tulips this time, and let's change my stencil this time. So I'm going to do pale ones. I'm going to need a bit more paint. That's a bit awesome. Oops, I put that one a bit too far across. Not getting many of those, so shall we start repeating them over here a bit? We could put a different pattern in over here because I want to get my grids filled. It looks completely different, doesn't it? I think I should do a yellow one on here somewhere. Just because and magenta, we haven't done any magenta yet, have we? Oh my goodness me. Right, okay, so we're going to put dark red into these and we're going to put it in with, oh, what pattern shall I use? Let's get dark red for starters. What have I got sitting around here? Are the clematis too big? Can you put a clematis pattern on a tulip? Bet you can, you know, bet you can. Let's try that. It's not very dark red, is it? It's very orange, but never mind. Oh, yeah. I say you can. Definitely. Okay. Very nice. And also dyeing these, Kathy, would give me colour in these negative spaces. So if I wanted to cut the tulips out, I would then have a coloured negative space, which I think would look nice. Oh yeah, like that. Okay, different pattern over this side then. Patterns, where did I put patterns? Oh, I can't imagine a grid on it, but let's go for it. I've got one here. Let's do a grid on this one, see what that looks like. Do I do the grid gritty? I think diamonds, do you? Oh, yeah. Wasn't expecting that to look as nice as it did. Okay. And down here. there. Oh, my drop cloth's just moved. Never mind, we can still get that one in. Oh, I love that. That's one of my favourites. I've just done that straight there. I like it straight as well. Oh, I have to do that again. I think we need some magenta boys in here. Definitely need some magenta boys. I'll also be demonstrating at festival, pretty much like this, just a variety of stencils and things, which we will have for sale at festival as well. So that will be nice, but I will be demonstrating. I'm just saying that this reminded me of demonstrating at festival, because there's one lot of people leaves to go and do something else, somebody else arrives, and I'm sort of aware that, you know, America, Canada, you'll have come in later because you were in bed. So I'm thinking, oh, well, you know, those that are exhausted by this morning, they'll have gone by now anyway, so I don't need to worry. Right, I want magenta now, and I don't think either of my trays are going to go magenta now because they've got pretty red. So let's have a last blast of tulips with some magenta. Maybe I'll go into purple, which is a fairly strange combination on here, but hey, who cares? Who cares? We can do strange combinations. That's within our remit. We're allowed to. Now, which one do I want to use? That's still very wet. That must have been what I've just been using. Yep, so let's change the pattern. Do it this way. Okay, so some nice magenta. Wow. Oh yeah, awesome. Awesome. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Might be my new favourite combination, magenta with oranges and reds. It's just so happy. It's so cheerful. It makes me want to try more colour combinations going across the two colour wheels. So I think that's why it's exciting, because I'm using the really warm colour wheels, poppy red and oranges. And then magenta, I've just walked right over to the cool colour wheel. Oh, they're varying, Christine. This one is about, I would say, 1.5 by 1 to about 1.5 by 2.5. This piece. They're sort of varying as I go along. Right, so what we want now, I think, is light magenta, which was on one of our trays. I might get somebody coming through the door to give me the look now. Or I might not. He might be nice. He might be feeling full of Christmas cheer. Oh, hang on, I'm out of rollers. Right. Okay. What happens if I put the yellow roller into magenta and white? Well, we get something, don't we? Something fairly murky, I suspect, but won't be long now. Do you sometimes wonder if everybody in this house except for me is just tone deaf? Stone deaf, actually. Right, let's do that checkerboard again. Really like that. Where's it gone? There. I thought this was really nice. I don't know what colour I've got in here, but I might need to turn that over. It's a bit wet. Or give it a blot. Give it a blot. Oh, bless. Yes, I'll show you all the pieces. Yeah. Just finish this one, then I'll show you all the ones we've done. Okay, that's not a bad colour on there. I'm okay. I'm happy enough with that. It's not what I was planning, but it's okay. It's magenta and yellow. Not a particularly joyous combination. They make a kind of salmony pink, which you can see there, but I'm not loving it. So I think what I might do is put that back on the yellow tray. I mean, I have got a roller. Oh, hang on. What's under there? Hey. Oh, yes. It's really grotty, but I've got a roller there. Okay, so I'm going to change this. More magenta. And get that back to magenta. And then I want that light magenta. Oh, and it's a good squeaky roller as well, which is always a joy. Always a joy, a good squeaky roller, that's better. Just think that colour will look nicer than that salmon. That's my feeling, may be wrong, frequently am. Right, leave that on, okay. Nearly there. What pattern shall I use? I love that grid, but I could do something. But I don't think I've got any very little spots. Oh, I know what I've got. We've got trellis. A nice trellis. Let's do a trellis. That would be nice. That could be nice. Yeah, trellis could be nice all over the background as well. But I think a trellis will be nice over the poppies. Or even over the tulips, depending on what I decide to do with it. Right. Over we go. Gosh. They're in there somewhere. That's what I'm going to have to go with because I can't see. Oh, I've made a real splat with that. Okay. I think that's just because that's very thick. This is actually a bit of a dog roller. So what I will do with this dog roller is just put on a bit of tint like that. Oh, that's my tummy rumbling. Right, come on. I'm going to get this done now. Okay. So that's okay. I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do with this one, which I'm not happy about, I'm going to redo it like that and redo it like that. Right, okay, I like that. I'm now going to add into my magenta some red and do a reddy magenta. In fact, the easiest way to do that is to probably, well, no, I'll put a bit of red in here because I like this mix too. It usually makes a very nice colour, and it has. Okay, so we'll get some of those in. And this one. And down there. And I think on that one, I'm going to fill in all the background tulips first, then I can block my things. So I'm going to fill them in with whatever I can see. That. And I think while we're down there, let's do that. Okay. It looks so gorgeous once you get it full, doesn't it? Looks like a sweetie shop with tulips on the shelf. And what did I do? That one, then pale orange, across here with a bit of magenta in it. Not quite sure how, but it has. But by this stage, everything's got a bit of everything in it, really. Reds, and we'll put in a pale pink and pale pink, and then I'll stick one of those in the corner. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We just need to put some patterns on those. I love that clematis. Let's do that again. Let's get that over some of them. So this one needs something light. Really nearly done, Stephen.
Okay.
So, let's try that. Yeah, that looks fine. Happy with that. Down there. There. Onto that one, I've got a thread. You can see the difference between the sort of very quick, spontaneous ones, which you can whack up fast. One like this is taking longer, because there's a lot of constructed patterns on here. That's okay, I'm happy with that, because I like them. My back cloth is completely glued to it now. That's all right, like that too. So we just need to come up onto these. At some point you will do what I nearly did there, which is put your stencil down without the background stencil there, and you'll stencil straight over the top. Just don't worry about it. I think it's just a learning curve. And I think I want this to come off here. It's annoying me. That's better. So then we've got, I think we should put in a bit more of that magenta, which isn't going to be easy because I've wiped off everything, but there we are. That's near enough. I might use this just straight over these. So I might go like that with those ones, because I think we could do with some more that are just tinted. Yeah. And I'll bring them all to festival as well, Karen, so that you'll be able to see them all there. Oh, that was a gorgeous blot. I wish I did that on my, I forgot, on my doodah. Anyway, never mind, I didn't. Right, red. Got some pale orange here. That'll do nicely for over red. And let's do that in, I can see spots, but I think they're probably a bit big, aren't they? I have got smaller spots, it's just I don't suppose I'll be able to find them quickly. Ah, yes, okay, hang on. That's better. That's smaller spots. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's just put that over properly. Oh, yeah, like that. That's very nice. And then these two are totally lost track of colours. I'm going to do those like that. There's barely anything on that one, but let's give it a spot, shall we? I'm going to give it a spot. Whoa! So close, so close. Okay. Oh, yeah. And there's one down here that hasn't got any patterning on yet, so we'll give that. That's not the right stencil. I'll give that that. So I'm happy with that one. That looks fab, doesn't it? Really like that. It's kind of completely regimented and ordered, and it could be the design for a quilt. You know, you could make a quilt like that, couldn't you? But I really like that. So what have we got? We've got that one. Not bad for 3 hours of stenciling and a lot of chat. I doubt we've stenciled for 3 solid hours. We've got this one, which is the blown open tulips. That's one I'm pretty sure I will over dye that to put some colour in the background, but I will do it in colours that blend with this. So I'll probably over dye that in something like, oh, not poppy, maybe coral sand. Maybe something like actually magenta sweet pea. That could look really nice on there. And then we've got, oh, hang on. There's one on the floor. We've got this one, which is the tulips scattered with the nice, with the sunbursts in between. And then we had this one, which is the tulips scattered just absolutely all over. And then I got myself happily into the distraction of this one, which is big fat tulips on their own to be cut out in a applique. And again, I will put some pattern in the background of this so that there's something, so that when I cut this out, I can use the rest of the material. So I've got that one. joy, oh joy, I've got these glorious pots. Let's get those the right way up for you. Well, actually, that one's that way. So there's that one. That's that way too. I'm so pleased with these. So pleased with these. So these big pots here, like this, are definitely going to get those tulips put in them. So I will make some pieces where I cut out one of these and I cut out these and I do some sort of background and construct those on there. So that's those. They were a bit of a sideline, but I'm really happy with them, and I will finish the background of that cloth. And then I have got a beautiful drop cloth under here. I haven't done as much blotting as I would like to have done. I will do more blotting just because it slows me down. And I wanted to get through the cloths. But I have got a very pretty drop cloth, which I will over dye. So fixing all this lot. Which won't I? I'm not sure if I'll over dye this. I think I probably will, because I'll probably over dye that. It would depend whether I want that. I don't think I want that amount of white background, but I do want it bold, so I may do this something in like pale lemon yellow or something, which would still keep this very bold, but just put some colour in the background. So to fix this lot for these paints, let them, I can feel they're dry, but they're tacky. So you need that to go off. So leave them for 24 hours, 48 hours minimum to cure. Then heat your oven to 150 and just loosely fold them up, put them in the oven for 5 minutes, get them out, let them cool off, and that's your paint fixed. Very simple. If you don't want to use the oven, or if you've got a gas oven and are worried about setting things on fire, just heat fix them with an iron, and then these are washable. So I hope that's been fun. Definitely been fun for me. As you can tell, I've had a ball as always. I'll try and tip you up so I can see you. Oh, I'm not sure I can. Not sure I can from here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Get the antlers back. Get the antlers back on. Some of you may not even have seen my antlers. That might be their first appearance for you. I have been working with these on my head the whole time. So very much looking forward to seeing some of you next year at Festival. Do come if you can. Thank you very much for joining me today. Had a lovely time. I've totally enjoyed it. And if you are on your own and think, why don't you go get your paints out and make some beautiful fabrics? If you haven't got fabrics, do it on paper. Find a file pocket, cut yourself a simple stencil, and have a wonderful time. So happy Christmas to everybody, and I will see you all soon. See you all soon. Oh, you're very welcome. It's a real pleasure. I'll see you soon. Bye now. Bye everybody. Bye.